Chris Sussy is now live. I choose a comment right before every live. And Chris Sussy stuck out because I do be sussy, right? That's what that means, right? I be a sussy baka, nothing else, nothing weird and gross to start the live stream. Hello, my beautiful and wonderful movie peeps out there. Chris, yo. Oh, let's do it. What a wonderful day. Oh, Planet of the Apes does come out today. How y'all doing, my beautiful people? It's so nice to see y'all here. Happy Friday. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Now you're going to have a wonderful weekend here. We got so much fun stuff to talk about here on the live stream. Let me just get some of these nice people out there. What a wonderful day. Whoa, dude, just spamming that. I love it. I love it. Hey, I wasn't late. I was actually on time, Jordan Cesazo. Cesazo. It's a good name. It's a good name. Hello. Hello. Hi, Chris. Hi, Daddy. Hello. Yo. Yo, yo. What a wonderful day. Okay, guys. So we got a lot of cool stuff to dive into and talk about here today. Let's run through some of the topics that we'll be getting into. Did I write them off into the side? I did not. Let me go ahead and copy and paste them here. All right. Nice, that way I can stay on target. Okay, some of the things we'll be chatting about here today, guys, is right when I uploaded yesterday's side flick, they gotta announce who Galactus is in the Fantastic Four. So I'm gonna be giving you my thoughts on the Galactus casting, along with all the other members that have been added to the Fantastic Four, because there's some new people. We got our first look at the Batman animated show that Matt Reeves and Bruce Timm, the original creator of the Batman animated series, is working on. A lot of interesting details in there. They changed Harley Quinn. Do we love it? Do we hate it? Planet of the Apes. This just got announced while I was about to go live. They have plans for 9 movies. 9 movies of just hairy cheeks all up in your face. That's gonna be fun. We got Peacemaker. Some updates there with season 2 in the DCU. How we're feeling about it, whether it's mixed. Is James Gunn's universe still confusing, or are we overthinking it? I'm thinking it's just still confusing. Godzilla x Kong, that just got announced about an hour ago. We're getting a 3rd Godzilla versus Kong movie. Gonna talk about that. Venom 3, we got a little first look and tease at who the villain might end up being. It's gonna surprise you and shock you, man. I did some Sherlock level investigating for this one. And I didn't put it in the thumbnail, but because I don't want to always bait it. But we got some updates on Spider-Man 4. Okay, you know I love talking Spider-Man 4, but I don't always want to bait with the Spider-Man 4 news in the thumbnail. Sometimes you just got to save it for the real people who will show up to the live stream. So thank you, wonderful people out there. Let me just see if there's anything interesting in the chat before we go into the first one. It's moments like this I wish I had a soundboard. That's all I'm going to look at. Big boy Chris. Oh, so much stuff, so much wonderful stuff. And yeah, and if you're watching the live stream back, I got timestamps that should be in the description, so that, and if not, check out the clips channels for individual clips on some of the best topics we discuss here today. Okay, so let's just start browsing around on the interwebs and see. Last time we saw Wolverine and Nightcrawler doing the nasty. Who knows what we see today, okay? I like how many of you guys meme that. What was that? Good stuff. Good stuff here happens on the live stream. Okay, so let's just start off with the first thing. Let me see if I can pop it open. All right, the Fantastic Four news. Okay, let's get into it. So this happened right after I posted the the side flick for yesterday, and I was like, oh, they got to do that to me, huh? They got to do that to me right now. We got the announcement that Ralph Ineson, hopefully I pronounced that correct, has been cast as Galactus in the Fantastic Four. Okay, that's some pretty big news here. For one, we had been hearing for a while that it was actually going to be Javier Bardem, okay? The guy who's in Dune 2 and No Country for Old Men. Lisangajavi! Oh! I actually would have loved if he was cast. Whenever I heard he was one of the top choices to play Galactus, I was like, ooh, that's good. The man's got a really great voice. I feel like he could be menacing as Galactus, because I don't know how much of the face they're actually going to put onto Galactus. You know, I think the most important part of this casting choice was the vocal cords, and Javier Bardem definitely had them vocal cords, but he did not get it. Instead, it went to Ralph, and I was like, why does this dude's face look so familiar to me? Like, he's staring at me a little funny. You're about to get a knuckle sandwich, Ralph. Turn around, buddy. And I was like, why does he look so familiar? And then I realized he was recently in the First Omen. I just saw that movie. He was the priest. And one thing I did think whenever I was watching The First Omen, I was like, this dude's got kind of a majestic, growly voice. There's something strange going on here. You've got to watch. I'm doing a terrible job of it, but I was like, this guy has a very distinct voice that I could listen to and either be scared of or be, kind of like, oh, you keep talking, buddy. I don't care what you say. So I think that was the most important part here, is they really wanted someone with kind of a voice that stands out, that makes you go, oh, that's Galactus, all right, baby. And he's got it, okay? There's clips online you can see and whatnot from all around the different movies. For copy strike reasons, we won't get into that. But, okay, putting that aside, I like the casting choice. This is good. Now let's, really think about this. Galactus is the villain for the Fantastic Four. We know this was the rumor, but now it's, officially confirmed. All right, then. So we knew they're going to have the Silver Surfer in there, and I guess that should have been the dead giveaway. Silver Surfer cast in the Fantastic Four. And remember, again, I know people are pissed about it, and they're like, I don't like it. This don't make me happy. But remember, this is supposed to be an alternate universe. It's an alternate Earth. This Fantastic Four movie is not set within the main MCU. This is supposed to be a different timeline. Let me see if I can go again and post it. The Human Torch poster that they came out with really gave you an idea of what this society is going to look like. So this is what the MCU, this alternate Earth, is going to look like in the Fantastic Four movie, which I think is so funny, because what did we do so wrong in the main MCU that this movie takes place in the 50s, and their 50s universe is all futuristic and Jetsons? Like, something went wrong in the MCU, man, for sure. But that's what we're going to be having going on here, and we're going to have the Fantastic Four. With Galactus as part of it, this boy's definitely going to win by the end of the movie, right? I mean, he's the devourer of worlds. He literally eats planets. Fantastic Four are going to F it up, man. That's the only way I see them jumping from their Earth into the MCU. Or, we're thinking through the negative zone can maybe be a portal to different universes, kind of like a hub for the multiverse. That could be definitely a thing. But it's like, if we want more Fantastic Four movies where they're not in their universe and they're in the MCU so they can hang out with other heroes and be connected, something's got to happen in their universe where they can't go home no more. They can't visit their old Baxter building. This Galactus boy is gonna win. I'm thinking that's what's gonna have to happen in this movie. Or else, what's the point of throwing Galactus in there if we can't see him devour a world, right? You want to see him just eat it up like noodles. That's what you want from Galactus. So that's going to be cool. I'm also just curious about how those fight scenes are going to go down. How much punching Galactus is going to be able to do. I know in certain versions of the comics, he's able to shrink down almost like Ego in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, the Star-Lord's father. If not, female Silver Surfer might do a lot of the punching, okay? That might be what ends up happening there. But still, I was like, wow, okay. That's what we got going on. Then we got other casting choices that are just interesting to talk about and discuss here. Let's see if we can get them here. Oh, nice and pulled up for us. So up above, we have our main Fantastic Four members here. Still pretty happy and all right with them. And then here are some of the newer additions. So we just talked about Silver Surfer and Galactus. But recently, two people we have no idea who they're about to play is Paul Walter Hauser and John Malkovich. So already, I'm a fan of these people. Paul Walter Hauser has been in a lot of stuff lately. I first saw him in Cobra Kai as Stingray, I believe was his name. Really goofy, out there guy. And I was like, so funny that he's in this Cobra Kai show. The man can act. He's in a show on Apple TV called Blackbird. Plays this deranged serial killer. Really good. He was in this Amy Poehler Coupon movie. It was actually kind of decent, but he did a great job in it. And he's even going to play, I think, he's supposed to play Chris Farley in the biopic for him. I'm a big Chris Farley fan, so can't wait to see that. Either way, Paul Walter Hauser, I like it. I wonder if he's going to be the voice of Herbie. In the Fantastic Four promos, we did get a look at Herbie the robot, which has never really been shown in the movies. There's that little robot here. Paul Walter Hauser, I could see him being the voice of Herbie. I feel like he's got... Put a little robotic hum under it. They could do that. Other people were thinking he might be Mole Man. And I'm like, okay, I could see Mole Man, especially with, no offense to him. I'm not that far off from him. But his body shape could give off a Mole Man kind of vibe, right? I could see him as Mole Man. So that's a possibility either way. Talented star. Now, John Malkovich. This is another one. He's a very good, talented actor. He was originally supposed to be the Vulture in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4, if you guys know about that. He would have made a great Vulture. Adrian Toomes in there. What's he going to be in this movie? He could honestly be anything. He might not even be a straight-up Fantastic Four character. The dude could play a government agent who's like, you Fantastic Four, you might be the only superheroes on this earth, but you got to protect us, or who knows. Other people were saying he could be the Mole Man. He could play the Mole Man. Yeah, I could see that happening. I saw some people bring up Puppet Master, which is not someone I'm familiar with. I know horror movie Puppet Master, but I'm not familiar with Fantastic Four Puppet Master. I was like looking at pictures of him. I'm like, okay, I could see that happening. I need to do my research on him, but that seems like a John Malkovich kind of look right there. I could see that being pulled off. I don't think he has like a distinct enough voice where I would want him to be Herbie the Robot, right? Some people are saying Doctor Doom. I don't know. I feel like they're going to go someone a little bit more foreign for Doctor Doom, because he's got to be the ruler of, was it Slovakia is the name of Doctor Doom? So I'm thinking they're going to go someone like German or even Russian for like Doctor Doom, just something more foreign. But you know, I wouldn't mind it. I think definitely would be a lot to introduce into this movie. Silver Surfer, Galactus, Doctor Doom, Mole Man, Herbie, different universe. A lot going on here. But you know, recently, what's really made me excited about this Fantastic Four movie is that the writer of this movie is the same writer who wrote Planet of the Apes Kingdom, the one that just came out, and the writing in that movie is really good. Like, the characters are interesting, the story they go through, the little themes. I ended up really loving Kingdom Planet of the Apes, and I'm like, dude, if this is the story potential they went with, and that's awesome, I can't wait for the story in here. That's one of the things that the MCU is needing to be focused on, is like, I'm happy we could do setups and tease the larger universe, but I just want a good standalone movie. And this has the most potential to be a great standalone movie. They're literally in their own universe. They're not boggled down by MCU lore. They have this awesome world to build into. So, yeah, that could be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I'm happy with this Fantastic Four stuff. The movie's got a lot of competition coming out the same year as Superman. We'll see what ends up being the comic book movie of the year. Also, this is the third time they reboot Fantastic Four. We'll see how many people are going to be that clamoring for it. But I like it. I like this stuff. I hope it goes good. Those are my thoughts on it. Why you got to release the news whenever I post a side flick, Marvel? You're watching me, Kevin Fagoli. I just know it. All right, so moving on from there, guys, let's talk about the Batman Caped Crusade. So, got some bookmarks here. Hopefully none of my Sydney Sweeney picks pop up. Okay, so we got revealed. Oh, what the heck? Why can't I zoom in? Can I just pop it up? There we go. All right, so these are some of the first looks at the Batman Caped Crusade. Now, if you guys are not familiar with this, because I understand there was a lot of things that have happened since this was announced, but the Batman Caped Crusader was announced after Matt Reeves is the Batman with Robert Pattinson, because Matt Reeves was announced to be a producer on this. It's a new animated Batman show. It would even have Bruce Timm attached, which, again, Bruce Timm is the one who did, the Batman animated series, which, you know, everybody's talking right now about X-Men 97, which is great, and I'm enjoying it. But the only thing, like, with that is I haven't been able to feel the nostalgic attachment for that show like I've seen other people. With this Batman animated series, that is my nostalgic attachment, okay? I remember when the Batman for Robert Pattinson was coming out, every day leading up to that movie, like for the last 3 months, I would just go to bed at night and watch one Batman animated series episode. And dude, I just love it. I love that theme song. I love that world. I love how serious it was. It's not very goofy. That Batman in it's great. A lot of awesome stories in there. Just an awesome show, right? And so high bar is set here, and we're all like, what's going on? Then Warner Brothers wants to bring out their mess and do a lot of dumb stuff with, this was supposed to be on Max, but because Warner Brothers is hemorrhaging for money, they started selling off things and be like, you want to buy this? You want to buy this? You want to buy this? So now the show's instead going to Amazon, which I guess is fine. They got some good stuff in there. And now we have our first look to what exactly it's going to look like. So these are some photos here. And I also have an article in where I read it ahead of time. So you're not going to just see me be boring reading here. I'm going to read a couple of excerpts, but I read a lot of the details. So for one, the interesting thing about this, so although Bruce Timm is attached, this is not connected to the Batman animated series. It's its own separate thing. But looking at the art style, I love it, and it very much reminds me of like an updated version of that animated show, which I love. I'm not sometimes too crazy on like heightened versions. I kind of like this realistic appearance. I think it looks really good. The interesting thing about this is it takes place in the 1940s. There's going to be no computers, no cell phones, which kind of sucks because, like, in the Batman animated show, there was a lot of futuristic tech in there. It looked like a future world that was almost inspired by the 50s. Batman did have a computer. He did have some high-tech gadgets, but it all looked kind of 60s, 50s inspired. Here, there's not going to be any of that. So it might be a low-tech Batman. He just might be grapple guns, smoke bombs, and, like, little pellets and whatnot. That could be interesting. I don't mind that. Like, this costume is very much inspired by the first ever Batman costume. First Batman suit. It just doesn't have the purple gloves. Because, like, here's, like, what the original Batman suit looked like in the comics. He had the purple gloves and all that. And you can see that from the way the ears go to the cowl to the suit, all that. This is pretty much the same look, just no purple gloves, which I don't mind. I'm not the biggest fan of the purple gloves. But that's looking good. Okay, so that's one detail there. Set in the 1940s. That's one of the biggest differences. Another thing in here, let me see. This is Commissioner Gordon they're going with. Again, since Matt Reeves is attached, I'm thinking a lot of the stuff of what we're doing in here, Matt Reeves is kind of segueing us into what his universe looks like, specifically when it comes to Clayface. We're going to talk about that here in a sec, but they got our Commissioner Gordon here. And now, one part I definitely want to talk about is the new Harley Quinn. They are changing Harley Quinn's origin and her personality in total. I think it actually could be for the better, but I understand some people getting pissed. Now, remember, Harley Quinn was not created in the comics. That's one of the cool things about the Batman animated show, is Harley Quinn was a character that was created in the animated series. Let me see here. Animated series Batman. The Bruce Timm in there, she was created as Joker's girlfriend. She shows up a couple of times in there, and she gained so much popularity, she started becoming a character in the comics, showing up in movies and whatnot. And we love her, and they've already done some changes, because if you watch the Batman animated show, this Joker pushes her around, treats her like crap, does not even show a sign of affection. And the movie version of Harley Quinn with Margot Robbie, she's a powerful, strong girl who becomes independent, pushes aside the toxic boyfriend and becomes her own person. Good for her. They're going a different route with this animated show. So, for one, you can see the costume change. Let me read to you the excerpt of what they're describing. Okay, so they say here, I co-created the character, so I have a lot of love and affection for her. But I thought there might be something interesting about bringing her on the show, just not as Joker's girlfriend. So how do we do that? A big part was just doing a basic flip. The original Dr. Quinzel was a little bit more serious. Then when she became Harley, she got really goofy and weird. So we thought, what if we reverse that? When she's Dr. Quinzel, she's a bit more whimsical and fun. And then when she's Harley Quinn, she's scary. So essentially, this version of Harley Quinn is almost like the opposite of what we know her to be. When she's just the doctor, which I'm assuming this is her as the doctor therapist, she's going to be kind of like the Harley Quinn we see. She's going to be joking, making laughs, a little flirtatious, being all happy. And then, when she becomes the villain, serious, silent, scary. Which is also why I think they flipped her colors from like green and yellow as opposed to like red and black. I kind of like that. I'm going to have to see how that goes. But that is an interesting turn of events. And if anybody is allowed to make these drastic changes with Harley Quinn, is the original creator, is it not? I mean, if we saw this in a new movie or like a different show, we'd be like, oh, that's some liberties. But this is the guy who created Harley Quinn. Let's let him cook a little bit. So I kind of like this direction. It doesn't rely on her having to be a henchman for Joker, have that romantic relationship, none of that stuff. She's her own person. She's going to be a scary villain. And who doesn't like scary jackals or whatever, jesters? I always call it a jackal, but it's a jester, Chris. Scary jester like this. So I'm down for that. We'll see how that goes. That definitely is intriguing me. And it also lets me know they're going dark with this show, which I'm very happy with. I like when animated shows can go a little dark. That brings us in then to... Oh, okay, before we talk about Clayface, there was some details here about how Bruce Wayne is going to be. And again, since Matt Reeves is attached to this show and is a producer, he's making his Bruce Wayne a lot like the Bruce Wayne that we get in the Batman show. So Let's see here. It says here, this is describing Bruce Wayne and Batman. He says, he's a really weird human being, Tim says. He's not obsessed with his parents' murder, but it changed him in a way where he's still not adjusted to being a human being. He's literally Batman, just like me. I'm literally Batman. We got so much in common. Inside, that's who he is. Whenever he's Bruce Wayne, that's not just him with a mask off. That's him wearing a person's suit. He's trying to pretend to be something he's not. Which, to me, that sounds exactly like what Robert Pattinson was going through. In The Batman, Robert Pattinson was Batman. Like, that's his identity. That's his persona. When he was Bruce Wayne, he's like, I'm just, I do that for sleeping. I put on my glasses. You lied to me, Alfred. All those kind of lines. And that's why I'm also excited for his Batman sequel, because we're probably going to see that Bruce Wayne persona grow. But here, he's putting on a mask. Bruce Wayne is a persona to him. That's not who he is. When he puts on the Batman suit, that's where he feels his true identity. I like that. And again, I feel like that mirrors the Matt Reeves version, because Matt Reeves is attached. Which then brings us to, and then you got Catwoman in there. They're just going with the 40s inspiration. That's cool. That's fine. Not much details about her. Just kind of they went with the purple costume. But then that brings us into Clayface. So they're going with the Golden Age Clayface. The Clayface we kind of know, or the popular one, is the one that turns into the blobby monster, which is the version I kind of like. I also love his backstory of being an actor and wanting to shapeshift into different people and take on that role, just like in the video game Arkham. I really like this version of Clayface, and there's been so many rumors that Clayface is a villain in the Batman Part 2 with Matt Reeves. And now Matt Reeves is, again, we've been seeing. He's got his Commissioner Gordon that looks like him in the movies. He's got a Bruce Wayne in here that's just like the Bruce Wayne in his movies. And now we're going with the Golden Age Clayface. If we get Clayface in the Batman Part 2 like it's rumored, it's going to be the Golden Age version where he doesn't have superpowers. He's not a shape-shifting monster. It's a guy with a clay mask who goes around and takes other people's faces. He's still got the actor backstory and all that, which is kind of interesting, but he's essentially a slasher. Look, I'm okay with that for this show. In fact, this looks really creepy. Guy's holding a knife, has a mask. That lends me to believe we're going to go a little dark with this show, and I love the darker elements of the animated Batman series. As far as the movie side goes, I just feel slightly too similar to what he did with the Riddler. The Riddler's got a mask. The Riddler was a murderer. He was psychotic and killing people in crazy ways. I was like, you're just going to do that again now, but with Clayface? Maybe go a little bit more psychotic, just tearing off faces and wearing them? Okay, that's fine. It's just something I got to deal with. And, even though I'm complaining, I know Matt Reeves is going to cook. Matt Reeves is going to deliver a Clayface that is going to be fantastic, and I'm going to love and go, oh, I could never see Clayface the same. But would I have loved it if he could make this version of Clayface work with Robert Pattinson's Batman? Would have loved that. That would have been so interesting if he could have actually have made that work. But alas, not going to happen, and that's fine. So that is pretty cool. This is the Clayface we're going to get, and I'm interested, man. And if this is how far they're willing to go with making this animated show kind of mirror Matt Reeves' Batman, who's to say we're not going to get this version of Harley Quinn someday in the live-action Batman movies? Like, again, Matt Reeves is attached. He's wanting to mirror his universe like this one. This could be Harley Quinn one of these days. Who knows? But either way, I'm excited for this. All the episodes will be available on day 1. Again, Amazon Prime. I'm trying to look for the exact release date here, guys. I'm sorry. I should have looked that up. I think it's is it August? Did somebody in the chat start saying it? Let me just look. It's probably at the very bottom of this article. August 1st. There we go. August 1st is when it'll be on Prime. All episodes at once. And Prime Video, that's when it'll be there. So there you go. That's pretty cool. I was looking through those details. I'm excited for it. I want to check this out. Like, I'm more excited for this than like Spider-Man Freshman Year, no offense. And X-Men 97 was a real nice surprise, even though I wasn't like excited for that. It's been really awesome. So I just hope this is as good as I remember enjoying the Batman animated series. All right, then. But there we go, guys. Let's move on now to our next topic here. So what do we got on the agenda? Let me see here. Okay. Oh, let's talk about this Planet of the Apes stuff. All right. So this just happened as I was, oh, dang it. Getting some phone calls, but I'm streaming here, man. I can't take these phone calls right now. Okay, so Planet of the Apes, Kingdom of Planet of the Apes is in theaters right now, and it's doing pretty well. Let me see if I can find the exact thing. Here it is. It's saying here, Kingdom of Planet of the Apes earns 6.6 in the domestic previews. This is the biggest ever for the franchise. So Apes right now is winning. People are interested, and right now we've kind of had like a steady box office this far in 2024. There's been like no huge heavy hitter other than Godzilla X Kong, but this has been looking to do some real serious numbers. So that's really awesome. And with this looking to be a success, and it's got good reviews, we're seeing what the future is for more. And oh my goodness, man, I was not expecting this. So they said here, a 9-film saga is planned for the modern Planet of the Apes movies. We thought this is crazy ambitious, but here we are. We at movie 4. Okay, baby girl. So I first kind of freaked out when I saw that 9 movies. I thought that's what they meant with this new film. Like, this is movie 1 and we're about to get 8 more. But the statement clearly says here, we're now at movie 4. So they're counting the Matt Reeves trilogy as that planned 9-part series. So really, we have 5 more movies to go then. Holy guacamole. That means 2 more trilogies, including this one. I thought it was just going to be at least 1 more trilogy. 5 and 6, then we'll see if they do another one. They got plans for 2 more trilogies. Okay, we got to talk about this. So I'm going to keep it spoiler-free because the movie just literally came out right now. And the ending of this movie does set it up for where they could go. But I still want to talk about where they could maybe go for that 3rd trilogy, right? So if you've seen some of the older Planet of the Apes movies, which I actually haven't, so I don't even know why I'm talking out of my butt right now. I need to go back. I watched the first one, but I have not seen like Escape, Beneath, Battle. I need to do that someday. I know. I'm sorry. But one big element of those movies, it got pretty sci-fi-ish. At times, they would be time traveling. There was a movie, I think it's called Escape the Planet of the Apes, where the apes are in, ape times. They created a time machine, and they go back to when humans were ruling around, and there's a whole movie revolving around that. So far, we have not gotten to those sci-fi elements in this version. In fact, I would say this version is a lot more grounded, less sci-fi, more serious, right? At least that's the way Matt Reeves has built it up. There's no time travel. There's no like sci-fi laser guns and things like that. Could we see that eventually going with this universe, or is that taking it too far? Is like, we don't need time travel. Like, even in Rise, if you go back to Rise of Planet of the Apes, they set up the Charlton Heston movie, right? Because they had that part where, let me just see, Planet of the Apes astronauts. Because these movies that we're watching right now, they technically lead into the original movie. There was like an Easter egg in Rise of the Planet of the Apes where it was like, astronauts got lost in space. We can't find their aircraft. And it's supposed to be a hint to this version, which is the original movie that we're going to lead into and whatnot. So it feels like that's where we're headed in this series. And there's even hints of like astronaut stuff. And there's moments where the characters are looking into space. And there is, I don't want to spoil it, but there's like in the trailer, you see the ape is looking at through a telescope. And it's like really trying to set up and hint to you that space might become a larger part of this movie. They don't fully dive into it, but I got that from the movie. I'm so excited for where they could go with this. The way they're also doing this series right now is they, how do I say it? They're treating the main characters of these movies like important historical figures in ape society, right? So the first trilogy was about Caesar. And you could say Caesar was like what? How would I even describe Caesar for the Planet of the Apes? But as like the original creator, you could almost say he was like what? The Adam and Eve of the apes, right? He's that important figure in history, the one who started it all and led the rebellion, right? Not to go too much into it here, but the new one, Noah, he's a historical figure for this new series, where what he does in this movie sets up an important thing for both apes and humans, where it makes you go, this guy could be the George Washington of the history in apes, right? So it feels like that's what they're doing. This trilogy will be about Noah, and the next trilogy could be about another historical figure in ape society, whether it's one that rules overall and does all this kind of stuff. So that's something that could happen. The other interesting thing that I had never thought about on where they could go in this universe that is true, how about we start including apes from other countries, right? If the entire planet is a Planet of the Apes, right? Well, where's them British apes? Where's the Asian apes? Where is the Hispanic apes? How about let's take some of this ape stuff and let's go into other countries. What are the apes like in Mexico? What are the apes like in London? Obviously, they're going to have accents and they're going to talk funny and be like, hey, yo, brother, the small planet and we the apes together strong. Would you like a biscuit? Australian apes would be cool too. Hey, mate, we could do something like that. Japanese samurai, dude. Can you imagine? Oh my goodness. You have a journey where like Noah in the next movie has to go to Japan for some reason, and he comes across Japanese samurai apes with armors and swords. Dude, the potential for what you could do in this franchise is limitless and endless, okay? There's so many cool stuff. So I think that's pretty funny. Like, yeah, let's do that. Let's explore the countries, because there's been now we're like 7, 8 movies into the franchise. We've only explored American apes. It's like it'd be cool to see what the other society, and like the thing I also love about this is like these ape societies mirror kind of like, like Native Americans or colonies. I think they took inspiration from that to see what they were doing. So why not take inspiration? They obviously apes in that area would take inspiration from the country they were in. Maybe not that much though. I mean, I didn't see these apes going to McDonald's and eating a Burger King burger, right? But there could be something there. It could be interesting and whatnot. I love that idea of like samurai apes. I'd never even thought about that. That'd be so cool. So we'll see where they go. But 9 movies, dude. I'm there for it. They are not bad right now. There are 4. All 4 of them are great movies. Until we have a bad one, I'll rethink this. But for right now, I want it. I want this series, man. I want this series. So we'll see how it goes. Night apes. Those could be the London apes, right? Because they would like go after they do kings and queens over there. So would they just mirror that? Night apes, dude. You guys are amazing. We could do all this. Irish apes. Edgar apes. That's so funny. Oh, dude, apes on elephants? Dude, we've so far seen apes on horses. Dude, where are apes? Where are elephants? Like in Africa or in Egypt? I don't think is there Egypt apes? But dude, can you imagine Noah one day goes and he's like, elephants, dude. There's a moment in the movie where they encounter zebras and Noah's like, I've never seen these things before. So yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I'm curious where that goes, man. All right. Let's move on now to what is next. Okay. We talked about that. All right, let's talk about some DCU updates, because James Gunn just gave us some, I don't want to say confusing, but so he revealed, which is kind of a cool story if you're into the Peacemaker stuff. James Gunn revealed today that Frank Grillo, who is going to be the voice of Rick Sr., Rick Flag's dad in Creature Commandos, is going to make his live-action debut in Peacemaker Season 2. And this is kind of interesting because you have to think about, he's wrote here, pleased to announce the great Frank Grillo will be reprising the role of Rick Flag Sr., the role he first played in an animated form in Creature Commandos. Throughout Season 2 of Peacemaker, Christopher Smith, who is Peacemaker, John Cena, and Rick Sr. have a little unfinished business to take care of. Don't forget, in this universe that is which is why I'm talking, it's weird, Peacemaker, let me see if I can pull up versus Rick Flag. Peacemaker killed Rick Flag, okay? That's his son. So Rick Flag Sr. is going to want to come after Peacemaker for revenge. The funny part about this is, though, James Gunn already confirmed this movie and Season 1 are technically not canon to his DCU, but some events from those movies will carry over, basically saying it is canon without officially being canon. Can you imagine this is like phase 1 of the MCU? This is the only thing that bothers me so far, the DCU. It probably won't matter, and it'll probably make perfect sense whenever we go into Peacemaker Season 2. But I think that is just such a weird way to start your universe. It's like, okay, Creature Commanders is technically our first full official DCU thing, but we also like to count Superman as the full official thing. And also Season 2 of Peacemaker is not really connected to Season 1, but it's going to bring in elements from the Suicide Squad. I'm just like, dude, just wipe the slate clean, buddy. Wipe the slate clean. Right, yeah, see, so some people here like this. I'm not even interested in the DCU. It's such a mess. Something like this, it is just messy. Peacemaker season one. James Gunn already came out and said it's not canon, but some story elements will carry over. So you have to think about the season two Peacemaker is a variant of this Peacemaker. He had similar story things happen to him, but not everything will be. It's weird. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of weird. It just doesn't feel right. It's not as smooth. Like it's such a weird way to start the universe. With that stuff out of the way, and with me not being happy with how messy this is, not gonna lie, that's pretty interesting though for season two. Like we're gonna have Frank Grillo, who's obviously gonna be pissed with freaking Peacemaker, going, "You killed my son, dude. You're gonna die." He's gonna be a villain to him, and you can't blame him. Poppy's gotta avenge his son. I would want to also. But also, like, how are the Creature Commandos going to fit into this? Because this is his show. And I thought this show took place in World War II because the Creature Commandos are characters from World War II. Turns out it's modern day. Are these dudes going to pop up in season two? Are we going to see this Frankenstein guy, this Weasel guy, all these people pop up in season two? Like, that'd be kind of crazy. I don't know. But I just thought about that, and I was just like, dude, I wish it was a little bit more simple. Like, this kind of weird stuff should be happening in phase 4, phase 5 of your DCU, but whatever, James Gunn, man. I'm letting you cook. I'm trusting you. It's still so crazy that this was the week that the Superman suit got revealed, because, like, time flies so freaking fast on on the internet, you know? Like, all the memes people have been making. I'm trying to find just a regular version of the suit. Please don't show anything nasty. Don't get me banned off YouTube here. Yeah. It's like, it's still so crazy. This suit got revealed this Monday. That feels already like 2-3 weeks ago this happened. It's growing on me a little bit more. I know I was a little harsh on it, and I'm liking it a little bit more, especially some of the fan edits I see. But it's like, I hope this makes sense. Because remember also, this Superman movie leads into season 2 of Peacemaker. So whatever happens here, it directly affects Peacemaker season 2 as well. So we'll see, my friends. But yeah, that's some of the semi not confusing kind of all right stuff. I'm sure it'll all be fine and work just good in the final product. But I was like, so Suicide Squad is canon. Season 1 is canon, although you're saying they're not canon, but they're canon. All right, let's move on now before my brain starts hurting more. Okay, let's talk about this Godzilla X Kong announcement, baby. Woo! Yeah, buddy, let's go. Okay, so it got revealed today. Let me see if I can pull up the article. We'll just bring it up here. It got announced that we are going to be getting a sequel to Godzilla X Kong. Should be no surprise. The movie is making nice amounts of money. It's at $555 million worldwide, as you can see here. That's a nice chunk of change. Would be great if it could hit, the $800 billion mark, but we're not there just yet. But along with this announcement, they revealed a new writer. It says here, Godzilla X Kong follow-up enlists Shang-Chi scribe David Callahan to write. So this is not the same writer from the last 2 movies. Let me see if I can read here. Let's see here. Adam Wingard directed Empire and created the story with frequent collaborator Simon Barrett, as well as Terry Rousseau. Legendary has signaled it would like to see Wingard return. So although we got a new director, a new writer, don't think they're replacing Wingard. They want him to return as director. And, it makes sense. He's been doing good. I know some people don't like the wacky, zany, cartoony direction of the new movie. I had a lot of fun with it. I enjoyed it so much, and I also love that Adam Wingard pays so much attention to Kong and gives him such a nice story. And when I look at Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, as Kong is the main character and his story that he goes through, finding his people, saving them, I love that movie. Although it is sometimes messy, I still love it. But okay, let's look at this guy's resume and see if this bodes well to what we're going to get here. Now, this could be good for the people that were wanting a change in the tone. So it's not going to have a similar tone. They might tone down some of the silliness here. But looking at his resume, I don't know, man. It's all over the place. So I love Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi was good. Zombieland Double Tap, it was all right. You got Doom in there. Like, oh, dude, don't tell me he wrote Expendables 4. If he wrote Expendables 4, we're cooked. We're cooked, my friends. Okay, good. He didn't write it. He just gets credit because he created the first Expendables as a writer. So legally, you have to give him credit whenever you make sequels. I almost dude. If you've seen Expendables 4, my heart jumped, man. I was like, we do not need Expendables type level writing in this show. I mean, this movie. But he did Across the Spider-Verse, so like that bodes well. That did good. He was one of the many writers on there. Across the Spider-Verse has like 5 writers on there. Yeah, Shang-Chi, okay. Mortal Kombat, you know, I know people didn't love that. You got Wonder Woman 1984. So, oh, dude, this is he did some stuff for Godzilla. A lot of people like that first Godzilla movie. It's a mixed bag. I'm telling you, there's not much confidence in there, but there's enough good things in there like Shang-Chi and Spider-Man that make me go, he could cook something here. Something can happen. Something could be all right. So let's get into what we want to see out of this movie, right? So there's already a lot of stuff. I think this time, while Scar King was awesome, and I would not mind another original villain, I think it's time to go back to a classic MonsterVerse villain, right? You bring in a Destroyer or a Space Godzilla in there and do that, right? That would be awesome. I know people want Biollante, but I don't know if Biollante should, because this third movie's got to be kind of like the wrap-up chapter, the end, because things are always in trilogies now. For sure, this is one person I want. I agree with you guys. Gigan. I want Gigan in there. I don't know how they could introduce him, because there's not much setting up Gigan in the universe. At least unless I've missed a couple of Easter eggs. But dude, Gigan would be awesome. He has an alien origin. He's like this half cyborg, half Titan looking thing. Dude, Gigan would be so awesome to be thrown in there. I would be so happy if he's one of them. I know people also want, what's the freaking, the name is escaping me right now. I know they want Dan Stevens to play him. Let me see. Dan, is it Trapper? What do they want him to be? What is his name? It's a, let's see, Godzilla. I know they want him to be him. Who's it that they want to be, guys? You guys know, not Gigan. It was somebody, Jet Jaguar. I don't know why the name was escaping me. They want Trapper to be the pilot of Jet Jaguar, which, yeah, dude, it's time we do something like that, where we get some kind of Pacific Rim stuff thrown in there. I don't know about this design. I'm not too crazy about this design. But, dude, that would be perfect. Something like that needs to kind of happen. You got the colors maybe hinting at it there. That would be such a cool, fun character to throw in there. A kind of piloted mecha thrown. Because, dude, that's one of the biggest complaints about these Godzilla x Kong movies is they destroy cities. They tank them. Brazil and Rio? Dude, there was nothing left of that. So the government has to step in and be like, we need someone to control these monsters or gear them towards like an open land, not destroy our pyramids and monuments, because, dude, that's enough. So they definitely need like an automated pilot thrown in there. And I think he would be great. Jet Jaguar would be awesome to see him throw in there. It would be also so sad if like they kill him off. Do they also give Kong an upgrade? Do they, not Mecha Kong, I know that's something that people want, where it's like a fully automated, I keep spelling it wrong, a fully automated robotic Kong. Do they instead go with like a fully armored Kong? Is that taking it too far? I don't know. They already gave him the glove. And one little glove is one thing, and I know people have their opinions of it. I love the glove. The Beast glove was awesome. I thought it was so badass. If they can trust Kong now and they know he still needs help, if there's another big battle, why wouldn't they build him a fully Iron Man looking type suit, right? Iron Man Kong. That's essentially what I'm going with here. Iron Man Kong. It would be insane. I don't know if that's taking it too far. See, some people are saying too far, and you got a Godzilla -1 profile pic, buddy. Which doesn't mean anything. I love Godzilla -1, but it lets me know you prefer realism. You prefer dark and serious. And, the MonsterVerse movies, they're going cartoony. They're the cartoony route. So I'm honestly, I hate this photo because it's AI. But if they gave Kong like a mech suit like this, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. It doesn't have to go fully. You could just do 2 arm pieces this time, right? I don't know. It all depends on the way it comes off, for sure. Oh, let's see. I'm looking into what are you. They'll do it for the toys. Yeah, like for the toys. Mecha Ghidorah? I don't know. Like, do we want to bring back Ghidorah? What I liked about Scar King, even though he was a little, how do I say it? What I like about Scar King and Mecha Godzilla, that I don't know if Ghidorah could have is there was some personality coming off of them. Like you could feel this level of like intelligence or this level of thought. Definitely with Scar King, you could see he was an intelligent creature, although he messed up a lot and all that. But the way he was commanding Shimo and doing all this kind of stuff, I did like that about the villain. Ghidorah just kind of seems like another mindless monster to just attack. I need kind of like a happy medium where it has this hulking presence, because Scar King did not have that little slanky little boy. I need something with like a hulking presence and some thought level put into it. Because especially if you're going after Kong, he's got tons of thoughts and strategy put in. I don't know if Mecha Ghidorah would have that, although it'd be cool. But also, how do you explain who did that? Because I mean, it went 1,000% wrong with Mecha Godzilla. Why would they think doing a Mecha Ghidorah would be any different? And they already used the head of Ghidorah to make Mecha Godzilla, right? Or am I wrong in there? Who did they? I'm pretty sure they did that. So I don't think they'll go the Ghidorah route again, but it's a possibility. So I don't know, man. That's what we're going. Hopefully they find a better balance. I do agree. Maybe tone down some of the cartooniness and not make it as silly. But my other thing too is like you proved. Let's see, Kong, Godzilla X Kong. You proved there's like 20-minute, 15-minute sequences where Kong is just the main character. You're seeing him explore Hollow Earth. He's meeting. Oh, dude, we didn't even talk about freaking Zuko, little mini Kong. Dude's gonna be grown up. Oh, dude, I didn't even think about it. Also, they're gonna kill Kong in this movie. I know you don't think they're gonna do it, and it's gonna break my heart, and I'm gonna be so freaking sad when it happens. But it's gonna be such a well-deserved death, because this Kong has gone through so much, right? He lost all his people. He was the last of his kind. He saved the world several times. He found his people. He's got a society. He's ruling them. And now he's going to die for them. Like, oh, that's going to be such a great arc. 3 movies, or I guess 4 movies if you count Skull Island. That's going to be such an awesome arc for him. But less humans, right? You proved it could be a silent movie. You don't need dialogue. Just the expressions of like Kong with Zuko, the little times of them eating or going through Hollow Earth. Make that 80-90% of your movie and just minimize the human stuff, baby. I don't know. That's my kind of thinking there. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But it's exciting that they announced Godzilla X Kong 2 is happening. We got a writer. I think we just got to wait for Adam Wingard to be available, because he was announced to do a new A24 movie. He's also supposed to do the live-action Thundercats movie. That's going to take a second. So I think the earliest we get this movie, 2027. I think so. Like 2026 or 2027. I say 2027 is probably when it'll happen. But we'll see, my guys. We shall see. All right, let's move on to the next topic here. So much stuff talking about. Okay, let's talk about this Venom 3 stuff, baby. Ooh, okay, Venom 3. It's kind of refreshing. I spelled it wrong. It's kind of refreshing when we have a comic book movie coming out and we have literally no idea what the comic book movie is going to be about. And so that's what I've been wondering with Venom 3. We've had a lot of things going around with the movie. Like some like semi reports going online. I hate it though. I hope this is not the real plot of Venom. But again, just to remind you guys, the current rumor was that Venom 3 is going to be about Eddie when he goes back to the Sony universe after being taken away from the MCU. He's going to look for his universe's Peter Parker, his Spider-Man, right? He wants to meet him and talk to him because the symbiote's going to tell him one day, Spider-Man's going to kill you. He's going to be your enemy, so you should stop him now before that ever happens. But when he goes, it's a 10-year-old Peter Parker, and he can't do it because it's just a kid who doesn't even have powers. And instead, he's going to mentor 10-year-old Peter. And I'm like, stop it. Cancel that. Throw it away. Put it in the same pile you did with frickin' with Madam Web, okay? Just don't do that. Sony tried to silence me. Sony said, stop talking, fat boy. You'll take what we give you and you'll enjoy it. Sorry. Them Sony snipers, man, they be pretty evil sometimes. Okay. Anyways, but I was saying, I still don't want to believe that's the real plot. I'm thinking they have something else cooked up, but we have no idea what. We have no idea who the villain is, what the plot is. Like, anything. And that's kind of refreshing because a lot of the times we know almost every little detail about these movies coming out. So it's kind of juicy when we get something hinting at what might be happening in the movie. And that's what we got here. So this right here is merchandise given to crew members who worked on Venom 3. This is the stunt team. And looking at it, I love this logo for the movie. I like that the E is the 3, very 90s, very awesome. I even like that the O in Venom is just Venom's face. Oh, such a cool logo. I hope that ends up being the official logo because that's just something neat. Then we look at the hat, and it's Venom's face with 3 scars on him and the color green. The green is looking very prominent here. And, well, a lot of the times with this stuff, it hints to what is going to be going down in the movie. So let me look at like the Spider-Man No Way Home crew shirts, because this was something I remember we talked about and we're speculating. Whenever we got the Spider-Man No Way Home crew shirts, you could see this, they were hinting. And remember, we didn't know if Toby or Andrew were going to be in the movie. These were just us speculating. And yeah, look, they on the crew shirts for Spider-Man No Way Home, they put Andrew Garfield on it, and then they were like, "Oh, we just like that version. That's why we put it on there. No other reason, guys." Andrew Garfield was in the movie along with Tobey Maguire, okay? So don't try to be funny with us, we know. So a lot of the times these crew shirts are actually hints to what is happening in the movie. So all we have to go off now is the color green and some slashes. So that could have been anything, right? It could have been Vulture for all we know, because the Vulture, as crazy and as dumb as it is, the Vulture is now in the Sony universe. He was sucked out of the MCU. He met up with Morbius, and Morbius was like, intriguing. It has something to do with Spider-Man. Oh, dude, that post-credit scene pisses me off, and I'm glad Madam Web didn't have a post-credit scene because it would have pissed me off too. Maybe it could be Vulture. You know, I doubt it, but he's green, so, or his colors are green, so that could be one. Then you also got Morbius, and a lot of Morbius's marketing and colors were green. Maybe it's Morbius going after Venom. Wouldn't love it. I'd hate it. Okay. But then we had people bringing up a character by the name of Lasher, which is a symbiote whose colors are primarily green. And dude, already I saw people suggesting that because, like, let's look. Let's just go to my freaking page here so we can see. I saw people suggesting that when I brought it up, and my eyes were rolling, dude. My eyes were rolling. You have all these bots trying to sell shirts too. Freaking the Monster Energy can is gonna be the villain of the movie. That's gonna be funny. But we had people hinting, dude, where is all this? You're making me look like a liar. There was people hinting at, there we go, some Lasher in there, right? There were people, and I was just like, dude, another freaking symbiote? Why are you doing this, Sony? That's 3 symbiote villains in a row. Stop it. Do something else. That's so boring. Even people were also bringing up Toxin, which I know is set to maybe show up. And the only thing green about Toxin is his tongue. Overall, Toxin is red and black. And if you don't know, Toxin is the cop in Venom Let There Be Carnage who was teased to get the symbiote at the end of that movie. I don't want another symbiote villain. I hate this idea. So I was like, oh, all right, well, let me look into some of this backstory involved with Lasher. Maybe there's something interesting there. Turns out there actually is. One of the hosts, the first host of Lasher in the comics, was actually a dog. Lasher's first host, the green symbiote, is a war dog, is a female German shepherd, and sometimes it looks like this, all creepy and nasty, and I was like, a dog's host as a symbiote. Dog, why does that sound kind of familiar to me? And then I went to look up Venom 3 set photos that Tom Hardy had teased. Play the creepy music, guys. Tom Hardy posted a picture on his first day on the set of Venom 3 with him facing off against a German shepherd. Oh my God. It's all coming together. I see it all happening in my head. Now, this could obviously be reaching, and it could all be a total coincidence, but Tom Hardy has done this a lot. He loves to tease you on Instagram. Let's see, Venom 3 Tom Hardy Instagram. He's done this so many times. Leading up to Venom Let There Be Carnage, he was posting things like his Venom biting Spider-Man, right? Let's see, Venom 3 Spider-Man. Let's put it up there. He was posting things like, oh, let's see, where is it? There's somewhere on here, guys. Yeah, no, don't think I'm crazy. I've seen it before. Tom Hardy, what the hell, man? Venom 3. Let's see, Tom Hardy. Okay. Oh yeah. See this photo. This was on Tom Hardy's Instagram. He had it up there for like 5 minutes. Then he deleted it. He also did this photo with Tom Hardy and Spider-Man. It kind of overhyped us, and we got our expectations a little blown out because he did eventually get to meet or come close to Spider-Man, licking him on the TV in the MCU, but he never got to fight him. And then people also noticed whenever he did post talking about Venom, he revealed the title a long time ago. He said like One Last Dance or something like that in his post, and everybody's like, oh, it's just his last time. It turns out, no, that was the name of the movie, is Venom 3 Last Dance. So I was like, oh, so he revealed the title months ago. So I don't think it's a stretch to think that this post of Tom Hardy going after this German Shepherd, which again is what Slasher originally was in the, or Lasher, not Slasher, Slasher symbiote, is one of the hosts in the comics. That maybe that could be what's actually happening here. And you know what? Although I hate the idea of a symbiote being the villain again in a Venom movie, this does make it a little different. So far, all the hosts have been evil, maniacal people, right? Whether it's the CEO or scientist of the first movie, and then you had Cletus Cassidy Carnage, which I was happy with. What's it like when a dog gets that power? And also, the movie starts in Mexico. We have seen set photos because it's going to take place right as soon as Tom Hardy comes back from being sucked out of the MCU. And he's like, oh, I'm in Mexico. And he's just walking around the streets of Mexico. There are a lot of stray dogs in Mexico. Hungry dogs, too. What happens when a stray, hungry, cruel dog gets the symbiote? It's just a maniacal monster. It has no thought. It just wants to eat, slash, and attack. I'm like, that could be something different and interesting, right? And that could also be how Toxin comes into it. Because I know a lot of people were like, no, Toxin's going to be the villain, Chris. Toxin is going to be the one. They didn't really set up a reason for why the cop would want to go after Tom in like an evil way. They were kind of friendly and okay with each other. It would seem so out of nowhere for him. He's like, I'm the villain. And since we're following the movie from Venom perspective, it's like the cop isn't really that bad. So maybe it would be a situation where he'd have to get the cop's help. And he's like, oh, well, I got this symbiote also. I can help you fight this guy. I don't know. But other than that, it could be more than that, because it could also be things with the Life Foundation. That could be something that happens in here. They could introduce the Life Foundation, and for this is where they have a bunch of symbiotes: Scream, Agony, Lasher, all of them going after Venom. Right? The company creates them, and they're like, "Well, we want more we want more of the symbiote, and we need to take it off Tom Hardy's character because he's got it on it." That could be it. It could be, a whole bunch of symbiotes going after him. All in all, it's just not as exciting as the idea of Venom fighting Spider-Man. You literally teased us with that, and we're just not going to get it. Like, that's so crazy. So, this is honestly what could end up happening with the movie, I don't mind the idea then if they bring it out. The Life Foundation angle could be interesting, especially if, like, Lasher is a dog and the rest of them is that, like, it could even happen in a different way. It could literally be a military group, which it usually is, where they're going after him, and then they get hit with the symbiote halfway into the movie, including their, like, sniffing dog, their military dog that works with them, right? That could be cool. They get that and get corrupted with power. I wouldn't mind it. I don't know, man. These Venom movies were fine. It was an interesting experiment, but I'm just not that crazy about them. I wish I liked them as much as other people. I'm still curious how the Vegas thing plays into it, because we saw set photos of like Venom at Vegas. It looks like that's the end of the movie. So he eventually crosses the border from Mexico into Vegas. Final battle in Vegas could be kind of cool, but nothing about Chris a big hater. I'm sorry. I'm happy though. They need to bring Noel. I think it's too late, especially since this is also Tom Hardy's last Venom movie. They're wrapping it up here. They're moving on. Tom Hardy wants to do other things. He doesn't want to be Venom for like 8-9 movies and whatnot. He's like, I got my 3 movies. We're finishing it out here. So way too late to bring in Noel. If they do Noel or all this multiverse stuff, way too late. You should have teased this earlier. Anti-Venom, I just don't think either. They've set that up well. And again, it's another symbiote. Symbiote versus symbiote. Give us something new, baby. I don't know. That's just my thought process there. So there's that update with Venom 3. Let's move on now to talk about some updates with Spider-Man 4, baby. That's something here I wanted to talk about with you guys. So the reason I also wanted to bring it up, and I didn't put it in like the thumbnail or even make a video separately about this, is because take this with a grain of salt, but man, does it get me excited if true. So earlier this week, we had My Time to Shine Hello, which is, I don't want to say they're reputable, because I just don't like how they put a lot of their scoops over paywalls, and it's just not as reliable. And they've been saying so much stuff lately where I'm like, I don't know if they're telling the truth or not. But they have gotten enough things right in the past where when they say something, it's worth looking into and keeping an eye on. So this is what they've said so far. For one, Black Cat is going to appear in Spider-Man 4. Love this. Love this so freaking much. This is exactly what Peter needs, okay? He just got his heart broken. The man is alone. He doesn't know where to go. He meets himself a flirtatious, sexy, beautiful woman like Black Cat. Oh, dude, I want to see that love triangle. But it's also such a great way to go about it, because Peter could be conflicted about liking someone new before he can let go of MJ, right? He's obviously going to be stuck on MJ, but if someone else is coming on to him and giving him that flirtatious vibe, even if it's just so she can steal diamonds or manipulate him, it would be interesting to see Peter be put in that situation and how he would handle it, especially when he's alone in the world. Because, nobody knows who Peter is. He's got no friends. He's got no family. What happens when the villain is the one showing you love? Like, I think there's interesting things you could do there. They already wasted freaking Sydney Sweeney. She would have been perfect in this. But I also like people mentioning Anna Taylor-Joy would be awesome for this. I'm sure there's other great people. But I think Black Cat is perfectly suited to be in Spider-Man 4. And that would be such an interesting angle to go with, okay? So I was like, okay, I like that rumor. That's a cool setup. Please be true. This is like, it's getting my hopes up way too high. The next thing he said is, James Wan is being considered to direct Spider-Man 4. Now, James Wan is the director of the Aquaman movies. Buddy, oh boy. Let me tell you right now, I want nothing more than for this to be true. Okay, James Wan directing a Spider-Man movie would be a dream, man. His Aquaman movies are filled with such passion, flavor, and vision, okay? Whether you like the Aquaman movies or not, you can't deny that, man. The dude throws in so much sauce. Go watch Aquaman 2. Those fight scenes, ooh, him fighting Black Manta, visually, they are striking. They look good. I like the vibrant colors. James Wan bringing in some of that visionary passion into Tom Holland's Spider-Man movie, oh, baby boy, I would lose it. I would go crazy. Because, again, no offense to John Watts. I like the man. And he has done a couple of cool scenes out there, like the Mysterio scene. But as a whole, there's not a lot of moments in his Spider-Man movies where I feel like, dude, that was some beautiful swinging right there, or that was an amazing moment. It's just kind of been all right to me. James Wan would be so freaking good at this, dude. I would want this so bad. I feel like he would say yes, too, because Spider-Man and Batman, those are like the two superheroes that if like a studio says you want to do it, it doesn't matter if you've done 1,000 comic book movies, you want to touch Spider-Man and Batman. I want to touch Spider-Man and Batman. That's always what people say. So hopefully he would do it. Can you imagine his swinging scenes that he would do with Tom Holland's Spider-Man? Dude, they would look so freaking majestic and beautiful in the colors. And the other thing I love about James Wan, he's kind of like a Sam Raimi in the way he comes from a horror background. James Wan has directed movies like The Conjuring, Insidious, the freaking all these other Malignant. I freaking love Malignant. And dude, check out the action scenes in Malignant. Let me look up if I can look up some Malignant. Let me see. GIF. Dude, let's see if I can pull them up. Is there a good one? No, let's see. Dude, the fight scenes in Malignant are something else and are crazy, dude. If you have not seen this movie, I need you to check it out and watch it. I'm trying to see like a good, let me see, right, fight. That's a freaking horror movie, and he had some top tier freaking action scenes thrown in there. Please, dude. Oh, it's only a short one. If you've seen Malignant, you know what I'm talking about, dude. So, in that same way where Sam Raimi, although he had a horror background, he still found a way to balance out lighthearted tones with serious and adult themes with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. And I feel like I really want to see that with Tom Holland's version. I don't need you to keep him depressed, hitting him in the ground, making him miserable, but I'd love to see him face real world problems. He's now alone. Financial issues, trying to pay for school, trying to balance a job, trying to balance being a superhero with half the city hating him, half the city loving him, going through that struggle. I feel like James Wan would be able to tackle that. Now, again, I just feel like this is something too good to be true. What I would love for it to happen, but I feel like who knows, man? Who knows? So that right now is the updates. Sony right now is desperately wanting this movie to happen. I think they said they want it to be released in 2025. No, 2026, I think. No, it's 2025. No, I don't know. I'm making shit up. I think they said 2025 is when I was hearing they wanted to, but that's just like an impossible thing to hit. They want to start filming it by the end of this year. So like, August on there. But I don't think they're going to hit it. I think we're going to get it in 2026. Either way, they're trying to rush this thing to get made. So that means it's going to be announced within this year who's directing this movie, who some of the cast members are, what direction they're headed in. And I can't wait to see, man. I can't wait to see. Chris Bedward, I'm sorry. Watch your language, Chris. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So we'll see, man. But, I saw this and I got giddy. My feet started twirling up in the carpet and I was twirling my hair going, I would love this, James Wan, please. So, dude, yes. Seeing what he's done with Aquaman and like just the way that visually looks, I can't imagine what Spider-Man would look under his wing. So, we'll see, my friends. We shall see. All right then. Well, now it's time to answer some of your submitted questions over here, my friends. You've been chatting into the super chat, and I want to get into those. All right, let's get into them, buddy boys. We got Dame just sends in $1.99. Thank you so much, Dame. That means a lot. 49 buckaroos, dude. Zach, you didn't have to be that generous, man. That is way too kind of you. Thank you. You're the best movie news and reviews channel on the platform. Keep it up, bro. Zach, you an awesome man. Thank you for supporting the channel that way. That actually means a whole lot. Xavier says here, day 106 of asking Chris to bring back reading negative reviews on movies I love. Okay, I don't mind doing that. I do want to do it, and I've seen your comments, and trust me, I want to, because I know people like those. I just don't know what the topic will be. I know it has to be with horror movies, I think, because those are the ones that get good. But I need a specific topic on which ones. Is it like remakes or reboots? Is it all the Halloween franchise or all the Chucky franchise? That's what I'm stuck on. What would be the category? Because I don't just want it to be randomly reading negative reviews. It has to be a specific one. So, if you guys got a suggestion, let me know. A24 movies, I feel like we could do a little bit more. It has to be something more clickable. I don't know how many people want to click on me that. I think the Halloween franchise is what I'm going to go with, is reading negative reviews on all the Halloween movies from, 1970, was it 78 movie? All the way to, or 79, all the way to frickin' Rob Zombies and even the Halloween trilogy. I mean, the Blumhouse one. So yeah, and then we could go Chucky and do all that kind of stuff. Dude, that could be one. Reading negative reviews to my favorite animated movies. But yes, that's something I'm thinking about doing, my friends. No worries. Okay. What do you think about a new Venom game from Oxery? Is there a new Venom game coming out? I haven't heard about this, my friend. I haven't heard about this. Let me pop it up real quick. New Venom game. I know Insomniac is said to be working on a Venom game, but I have not heard about a new one. I gotta sneeze. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. I don't say anything right now, my friend. If you want to send me an article later on Twitter, something like that, I'll check it out. But I'm down for a Venom game. I'm down. Any updates on the next Spider-Verse movie? Oh, my friend, it is going to be quite a while before we get an update on that, just because they got to still animate it and all that. I don't think we're going to get an update till next year, or maybe till December of this year, my friend. I feel like it's going to be a while. Bless you. Thank you, everybody, for saying bless you. That's so nice. But yeah, no updates so far right now. I can't wait for that movie, though. I'm so excited for how they decide to end this trilogy and whatnot. I wouldn't be surprised if like we get the announcement split into 2 movies. You gonna do that to us? Okay, we'll see. Or is it already? No, it's not already split. Oh, whatever. Have you heard or seen any news on the new Toxic Avenger movie with Peter Dinklage? Love your videos. No, dude, that's crazy. So there's a new Toxic Avenger movie with Peter Dinklage. I've talked about this before. I actually watched the Toxic Avenger movies when I was a kid. They're like really dumb but fun movies, low budget too. And they made a new one, and I heard it was decent, but they can't find someone to distribute it. That's the problem. So they've shown the movies in festivals, and the point of film festivals is to also show them to the studios and be like, hey, Netflix, or hey, Paramount, hey, Warner Brothers, you want to distribute this movie, put it in theaters for us? And nobody wants to. I think it's just a hard movie to market because it's really rated R. Like I think it's NC-17 rated R, and those just don't make a lot of money. It's too risky of a film, and I don't even think, not even streaming services are showing interest. So it's gonna be a while, which is the really sad part. So that's the only thing holding back the movie is no distributors want to distribute the movie right now, which is sad. So we'll see. Well, like in a year or two, we'll just see on Screambox or on Shudder, and it's like, oh, I forgot this movie was a thing. Dude, you totally should review all the X-Men films to hype up Deadpool and Wolverine. I think I speak for us all when I say we would love to hear your thoughts. Oh, I want to, buddy. I want to. I already bookmarked the Cyclops, the 90s Cyclops costume I want to wear for those reviews. I just want to be in the new studio when I do it. And I know you guys have been asking me, Chris, when are you going to move to your new studio? Not until the first week of June, it looks like, guys. That's when my house will be ready. Right now, I'm still staying with relatives and whatnot, so that's the holdup. So get used to this set for like another month and a couple of weeks. But first week of June is when I move in, and that's when I really want to like go forward with that kind of stuff. So yeah, we'll see, my friends. We'll see. But yeah, I definitely want to do those reviews. Okay. Where do you think they will go in the next storyline of the Planet of the Apes? Like I said, without getting too much into it, it feels like they're building up to a war. I'll just say that. It feels like they're building up to a war, and not in the way that we didn't get the war in War for the Planet of the Apes. You know, the movie where Matt Reeves did that one? Biggest complaints everyone said with that movie is there was no war. There was like a tiny battle on one beach. That's not a war. I feel like they're actually building up to a real big war in this new trilogy. That's what I think it is. But moving on from that, I don't know where you go. I would love to be more sci-fi-ish. I would love them to include time travel elements, or maybe this trilogy, we went 300 years into the future. Next trilogy, let's go 1,000 years into the future. Let's start seeing these people in actual clothes and whatnot. Not as far as Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes, where we have Abraham Lincoln. But, I would love to see the far-off future of the apes, where they're a little bit more domesticated and human-like, where, they're living in houses. They have, I don't know, that could be interesting. Maybe that's dumb. We'll see. But yeah, we'll see where they go with that. What do you think? Who do you think will direct Avengers 5 and 6? I really like the reports that Sam Raimi will do it. I wouldn't mind Sam Raimi. I know people give him flack for Multiverse of Madness. I really don't think it was his fault. He was jumping into an already half-baked movie. They already had their plan where they wanted to go with it. They had their idea, and all Sam Raimi could do was just make a visually striking movie, and I feel like he accomplished that. Multiverse of Madness looks great, and there's some really fun moments in there. If we can have him as director for 5 and 6 from the start and have his ideas from the beginning of making this movie, I think it would be a lot better. But yeah, I think that's who I would want. If not, Ryan Coogler. I would love Ryan Coogler. He's done great with Black Panther. I would love that. I don't know who else we would get though, but yeah. All right. I know this is random, but do you remember the Blob from X-Men Origins Wolverine? I found an old 7-Eleven promo that the movie in the drawer, and that was the Slurpee straw from the old movie. Yeah, Kevin Durand was the Blob in that movie. The guy who plays, he was in Abigail, and he's also plays Proximus Caesar in the new movie. He was the Blob, and I remember it was just so funny, the big old guy boxing that. That's cool that you found that. That's funny. Yo, Chris, big fan. Proud owner of some 3C Chucky Boy merch. Hey, man, you a real one. I need to work on some new merch, man. Update that stuff. But what's your top 5 Tom Hanks movies? Ooh, that is a toughie. I will say my favorite one has to be Castaway. I think that's just number one for me. I love Castaway so much, and that's a movie they're like always playing on cable. I don't have cable, I have YouTube TV, but when I do put on like, TNT, Sci-Fi, all those old like cable channels, they always have Castaway on, and I always end up watching it. I love Castaway. Castaway is number one for me. I think number two, I'll go Forrest Gump. I really love Forrest Gump as well. Jenny. I love that. It's such a beautiful movie. I'm going to go Toy Story. I don't know if you want to count that as a Tom Hanks movie, but Woody is kind of the main character and Tom Hanks is the voice in there. Um, I'm trying to think of like other Tom Hanks movies. Oh, Catch Me If You Can. Catch Me If You Can. I love that movie. That's with him and freaking Leonardo DiCaprio. I love that movie so much. That's another movie I feel like I could watch over and over. Such a great movie. I'm trying to think of another Tom Hanks movie. What is Tom? Maybe Big. I don't know. Tom Hanks movies. Let me just take one last look at his page. Definitely not Pinocchio. The post. No. Do I say another Toy Story movie? I feel like that's copping out. Not gonna say Da Vinci, the Da Vinci Code for sure. Not that one. Elvis. You know what? This is kind of an odd one. Turner and Hooch, the dog movie where he has the dog trying to help him solve the murder. I saw that movie as a kid, and that's like my first Tom Hanks movie. So yeah, I'm gonna say those were my top 5 Tom Hanks movies. All right. Did you hear Max is going on Disney Plus? Yes. Well, they're not going in Disney Plus. They're gonna do a bundle. I talked about it in the side flick that I uploaded yesterday, so you can see more of my details on it. But that's just the way of the future. Is these streaming services are gonna have to team up and be like, look, let's just give them one $40, $30 price, and they get all 3 of us, buddy. So Disney Plus does have Hulu inside of it, but Max is not gonna be inside Disney. You just get access to Max separately. So yeah, that's just the future. This is the only way the streaming services are going to survive. I think it's going to lead to in like 5 years, you're going to see $80. I'm not even kidding. It's going to be like cable prices. $80 a month, but you'll get Netflix, Amazon, Disney Plus, and Max. And then over here, they'll be like, oh, but if you want to pay $50, we'll give you Paramount Plus, Peacock, freaking, I don't know, Shudder. You're just going to see different packages and bundles, and you're just going to have to pick and choose like cable. Which is the way the future's going. All right. Chris, just want to see them Latin... Oh, dude. Hey, I say all that. Me risen up them Latin apes. You want to see a banana? Dude. What would even the Latin apes look like, man? That'd be so funny. But you got to admit, though, that's a good idea for apes, is exploring apes in other countries, whether the country they're in has influenced them as apes. I think that could be something. I think that could be something interesting to do since we've never explored that in the movies. Apes here in Mexico will try to leave to the U.S. apes. See, like, we don't know if maybe that's a thing. Maybe it could, maybe it not. Maybe the apes in Mexico, because you got to think the apes in the U.S. have to be some of the most dangerous, because we have a whole country filled with people with guns, right? You could find an ape who goes into an old home and finds a firearm. In the UK, guns are very limited, so the apes there might be more peaceful, not have as much weaponry. Things like that you got to think about, right? I don't know. It's interesting to think about. Which of these would be the best for a cinematic universe? Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, or Disney Channel Animation? This is good. This is good. I like this question. Which would be a good cinematic universe? You know what? Maybe it's because that's my main... Everybody had these 3 channels, at least most of us did, growing up, right? These were the 3 channels you clicked around with, at least if you're my age. Nowadays, kids are growing up on streaming services and like freaking YouTube videos, right? I'm technically someone's Cartoon Network right now, okay? There's an 8-year-old watching me going, yeah, Chris, I love that Tom Hanks movie too. Back then, me growing up, it was, yeah, Dexter, show Dee Dee. Get that sister out of your lab, buddy. Cartoon Network was my main one, okay? I loved Cartoon Network. Just so many shows I grew up on there. Ed and Eddie, Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Laboratory, Courage the Cowardly Dog, especially Courage. I'm going to say Cartoon Network. I loved the Cartoon Network shows a lot more. Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, super funny in there. But Nickelodeon has real strong potential in there, especially with the SpongeBob universe, Jimmy Neutron, Fairly Odd Parents. Trying to think of what else they had in there. And it was even crazy to me as a kid when they did the Jimmy Neutron and Fairly Odd Parents crossover. That's just two shows I never thought would have a crossover, but they did it in such an interesting way. I was like, oh, that could work and all that. So I'm gonna go Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, then Disney. Cause, well, I guess I know you said television animation, but even when I think of Disney, I just think of their live action shows. I think about their like Hannah Montana. They're freaking what else? I watched Phil of the Future. I loved Phil of the Future as a kid. Freaking what else did I? Even Stevens. I watched. What else was I watching? That's So Raven. I loved That's So Raven. I thought that was such a cool show. A lot of stuff in there. So I know that you're thinking probably modern day, but I'm thinking of what I grew up on. So that's me. That's me. All right, let's see where we go. All right. Haven't seen Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes yet, but if it's as good as people are saying, I have faith in Wes Ball to make a news. Dude, I have faith in him now. You guys heard me, okay? His name isn't Wes Ball. It's Wes Noseball. I've seen other people make that joke since then. I was the first one, buddy. I know you're watching my content. Just kidding. Everybody can make jokes if they want. But, no. Dude, I was the same way because I was like, I like the Maze Runner movies. They're enjoyable movies, but nothing about the Maze Runner made me go, those are phenomenal, amazing. Now with Wes Ball and what he did in Kingdom, in like just the way he made the world look, focused on the characters, real beautiful movie, I no longer doubt this man. You could tell me tomorrow Wes Ball's doing a new freaking big budget movie, the next Transformers. I doubt Transformers, but like something like that. His name does not scare me anymore. His name makes me go, ooh, that's going to be good. That's going to be good. Now, we'll see how his Zelda movie turns out. But, I mean, there's enough things, I think, in the Apes world, at least in terms of, like, greenery, scenery, and wonder, that you could apply to Legend of Zelda. And, yeah, I have faith in him. He's going to do great. I can't wait to see what he does with that. He also seems like a chill dude. I've seen so many interviews of him lately, and I'm like, guys just seems like a regular chill dude who made it. That's awesome. B&H2 spoiler review and interview. Oh yeah, Blood and Honey 2. I just don't think it's gonna happen, my friend. Unfortunately, just got too busy, and now if I do it, it just wouldn't even make any money there, my friend. So I just don't think I'm gonna be able to do that. And yeah, sorry about that, my friend. I know it's disappointing, but sometimes you just gotta do the content when it's right, and other times you just let it go. But I'm sorry, my friend. I still appreciate you supporting the channel though. X-Men 97 episode 9 thoughts. I'm definitely gonna have to do my thoughts on the show when it's all wrapped up, because I think we're coming on to the final episode, right? I don't think that was the final episode, but yes, I think I'm gonna do that on the Clips channel, is just talk about it as a whole and all that, 'cause some of y'all want to hear my thoughts on it. Really good though, really good. I don't want to spoil what I've been thinking about it, but yeah, really good stuff. I'm amazed with how good it's gotten. Chris, have you heard the Marvel villain Onslaught? Do you expect the villain to appear in live action? I think I have. Is that the guy with the whips or no? Onslaught? X-Men Onslaught? Oh, no, that's not him. Oh, whoa, dude. This guy has like a crazy cool look. I don't know too much about him. That looks awesome. Let me just show off to you guys. That way you can see it as well. Ah! Freaking thing. Onslaught. This just looks like a steroid Magneto. You know, like a freaking Shredder at the end of TMNT 2? That's what he looks like. Onslaught. That's what that looks like to me, like a steroided up Shredder. That's pretty cool. We'll see. I mean, definitely if you follow the pattern of what Marvel likes to do whenever they get properties that used to belong to other studios or other people worked on them. Damn, did I not show it? I did show it, didn't I? Yeah. They like to bring in new villains that haven't been done before. So I think people like Mr. Sinister, Onslaught could definitely be one of them. People that have not been villains yet, they're going to touch. They're going to do. I know they already did the Sentinels, but I would love to see more like just full-on Sentinel stuff. The Days of Future Past Sentinel stuff was great, but I would love a little bit more of that. Dead by Daylight's update, I haven't seen it. Last I played with Dead by Daylight was when Chucky was on it. But happy for you. I know there was some update. I don't know what character they just added, but it was cool if you're into that, my friend. 3C, Randall Park is cast amongst us animated. Yeah, I saw he's one of the cast members on there. We'll see how that show goes. I think that could be a really funny show. I'm going to watch it, and I'll definitely talk about it on the Clips channel for sure. But yeah, I love that Randall Park. John Krasinski is in there. Chris, I've always wondered, how did you decide which movies get spoiler reviews and which movies stay spoiler free? It's, well, two things. One, it has to be a popular movie, so like a big blockbuster. Those are the only ones that really do it. Or two, it has enough spoilery stuff that happens in there that worth talking about. Like right now, I'm debating whether to post a spoiler review this weekend on Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, because like, yeah, there's some spoiler stuff in there, but I don't think enough for me to talk for like 8 minutes. There's just really me speculating about what I think they should do at the end of it, but I kind of already did here on this live stream, so I might just not. But yeah, it has to be big blockbuster movies, usually like a Marvel movie. If it's a big horror movie like, you know, a Halloween, a Jason, a Friday the 13th, that would definitely warrant it. It just has to be a big movie with a lot of people talking about it. You know, something like Challengers, although I loved that movie and I thought it was really great and there could be some spoiler talk on it, if I spent the hours it takes to make a video on it, it would get like 10,000, 5,000 views, which it's still humble. It's nice for other channels. For me, that would be kind of disastrous. So it just, to know if it's worth talking about and if it'll get the views, really. It has to be a big movie. Hey, Chris, any updates on Spider-Man 4? Well, we just talked about Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4 updates at the beginning of this video. If you missed it, I'll be posting it on the Clips channel to show you there. But yes, we did get some updates on that. My friend, just to not end up repeating myself over and over, starting up on this live stream or on the Clips channel. I have it for you in a bit. Chris, Armor Wars might get canceled. I saw that report. Let's talk a little bit about that. So you guys know Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney. He was one of the people talking about they're silently canceling some movies. They're not going to make announcements on it, but again, and the source is My Time to Shine Hello, so take it with a grain of salt. I don't know how accurate it is, but they're saying here that Marvel Studios is considering canceling Armor Wars. Now, whenever Armor Wars was first announced, I loved the idea. I was like, dude, I love War Machine. I've always liked War Machine since the days of Marvel versus Capcom 2, that video game. I always liked picking War Machine. I just loved his color scheme. I thought he was awesome in Iron Man 2, the little fight scene he gets. And then ever since Iron Man 2, like, they didn't let War Machine do enough stuff. There could have been so many cooler, more badass War Machine moments, and they just didn't let him have it. And recently, they've really messed up War Machine with the whole Skrull storyline and Secret Invasion. And, like, Rhodey's actually been, you know, hibernating somewhere else all this time. I'm like, oh, dude. But I at least want to see that storyline get finished. And the movie plot for this was somebody steals Tony Stark technology, and Don Cheadle's freaking Rhodey wants to go stop it and protect Tony's legacy. That could be an interesting movie. If they cancel this, that means we're not going to get an answer to the end of Secret Invasion and what happened with Rhodey, a payoff to that. I don't know. I want this movie. I would have loved to have seen it because I would want just some War Machine action. But at the same time, I understand why they wouldn't do it. Marvel is hurting for money. Even the Marvels with Brie Larson and whatnot, Mon Vellani, it just flopped. And I could see an Iron Man-like movie without Robert Downey Jr. and just his sidekick not doing that well. As much as I love Rhodey and War Machine, financially, I don't know how that'll do. Just like I'm financially worried about Sam Wilson's Captain America movie, because I see it all the time in the comments of like, no one cares about that movie. No one wants to see that Captain America. Bring back Steve. And I'm like, I kind of want to see Sam Wilson. I want to see how he does, but financially, we'll see how it goes. So, yeah, dude, if they cancel Armor Wars, I'm going to be sad. But I saw that report and I was like, I understand. I understand. Although I don't want it, I could see it happening. All right. Thoughts on Sonic 3 trailer next week? I hope it happens, buddy. Supposedly, they're coming out with a Sonic 3 trailer next week. I don't want to get my hopes up too high, but they're saying it could happen. I'm ready for it. I want to see that Sonic trailer and talk about it, so let's hope it happens. If it does, I'm thinking Tuesday. Tuesday will be the day. Have you seen the trailer for Fly Me to the Moon? I think it looks like a lot of fun. I'll be honest with you, my friend. I have seen the trailer for that, and let me just pull it up if you haven't. I feel like such a hater. Fly Me to the Moon. It's a movie with Channing Tatum, who I like, with Scarlett Johansson, who I also like. The movie looks so cheesy and dumb to me. I'm sorry. I hate the trailer. I've seen the trailer like 3 times now because I've gone to the theaters a couple of times. And this is one of those movies that when the trailer plays, I start rolling my eyes and going, "Oh my god, not this trailer again." I don't like it. I think they're trying too hard. It feels like it could have been a good dramatic movie with like Scarlett and Channing Tatum, but it just feels like a bad rom-com movie with like real life elements thrown in there. There's like a scene in the trailer where they're like, "Oh, everything's going wrong," and a freaking explosion happens, and Channing Tatum's character just flies across the room like it's a Looney Tunes thing, and I'm like, "Oh, this looks dumb." So I'm happy you're excited for it. I like Channing Tatum and ScarJo. The trailer was not it for me. I did not like the trailer. I thought it was kind of eh. But hey, I'm happy if you like it, and maybe the movie will be good. Okay. For the Planet of the Apes, one way we can go are leading the first movie or remake the first three as the last trilogy. Yeah, I thought about that too. They could end up just remaking the first three movies that they ever made, since that's technically where we're headed. You know, the Charlton Heston movie, Escape, and then what is it? Beneath, the next one. Uh, yeah, they could honestly do that, and that wouldn't be bad. I wonder how that would go. That could be an idea, though. That could be an idea. What are your top shows you want to see movies for? Oh, so shows based on movies? I've never thought about that. Okay. So I'm not even huge on like movies or shows that get movies, because I just think they always come up with like the weirdest. Let me think of like what's been some movies that have come out the past couple of days. Movies 2024. I don't know really. Like, I guess a movie in the Abigail universe could be interesting, because this movie, the director's heavily hinted this movie is also in the world of Ready or Not, which by the way, Abigail's on digital, so you guys can rent it at home now. Check the movie out; it's really fun. But so this is a universe where vampires exist, and in the Ready or Not movie, these weird rituals where people explode if they don't do this hide and seek game. A show in that world could be fun, but like I don't know, I'm just not too crazy about it. Like I did want like a Kong show, kind of showing his early life, growing up by himself, treating it like a silent episode. Every episode, that would be kind of cool. No Madam Web stuff in my life ever, please, no gracias. I know they're making it too. The Conjuring show looks interesting. Well, we don't even know what it is, but a Conjuring TV series where it's like an anthology, and it's about every episode is about like a certain artifact in the Warren Museum. I would love that. I think that'd be fun, showing how they caught everything and what happened. But other than that, I'm not giant on it. I don't think about that much. I'll have to think about it harder, my friend. But thank you for the super chat support. Hey, Chris, I love watching your videos. Well, I love you, Ryan. Marry me. Okay. Chris, did you hear about the Suicide Squad Isekai anime coming out this year? The music and the third trailer absolutely rocks. Yeah, it looked interesting. I think it's interesting whenever they do that. They take properties and then they give them an anime. Like, right, Star Wars is supposed to have an anime. They're doing this with this. Did you guys ever see which, dude, this made me like want it so freaking bad. The freaking Ghostface anime that was like fan made. What was it? Let's see. What was it? Can I find it on YouTube without getting copy striked? I'll just show like a little bit of it. Ghostface anime. Dude, this thing looked amazing. So check out this creator. I won't play the entire thing, but this thing looks so freaking good. So, okay, it was I'll just play this part. No sound on it, so you gotta have to go watch it. But like, look at this stuff. It's so crazy the way it comes out. The fluidity of it also, I'm loving. I think it looks so cool, and Ghostface looks so scary. The way they go about it, it's, oh, dude, can you imagine a whole anime like this? It would be so rich. I love the way Ghostface is moving. This shot right here, gorgeous. This is the only time where I desperately wanted an anime of like a horror character. This would go so freaking hard. It fits in so well with that universe. But yeah, I saw the Suicide Squad one, but anytime I think about that, I just think about like what they did there with this anime. I just thought that's so cool. All right, so let's see here. There was news on the Jurassic World. Yeah, I saw it. The only reason I just didn't bring it up is because it's not like giant casting news. I know it's kind of like terrible of me to say, right? But it wasn't like a big star. I'm sure he'll be a big star now. Jurassic. They finally casted the lead in the new Jurassic World, or cast. I know people hate when they say casted. But this is the actor. They have Manuel Garcia Rolf. He's going to be the lead in the new Jurassic Park movie that they're making right now. Now remember, they were looking for like a John Wick type, somebody that can kind of do action. I don't think he has an action background, this guy, but maybe this will be his start, right? Let's see. What has been the projects he's in? Okay, he was Lincoln Lawyer. He was in Magnificent Seven, Six Underground. I haven't seen many of this stuff. Who was he in Man Called Otto? I did see that movie recently. I don't remember who he was. Okay. But yeah, I just didn't talk about it because unfortunately you need something click-worthy sometimes, something that keeps the people's attention, and it just didn't seem like a big enough casting. But it's cool. Hey, I'm sure he'll surprise us and do really well. Even the article says here that he'll be next with Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, see, Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey are also set to star. Ooh, who's Jonathan Bailey? Let me see here. Okay, another nice, pretty jawline face. Cool, cool, cool. So these are the people going after some dinosaurs. I mean, right now, the most notable name is Scarlett for me, which is awesome, and I'm sure she'll do great. I just want to see more. I want to see more about what they're cooking here. But yeah, we'll definitely talk about it when there's slightly bigger updates on it. This I just didn't feel was big enough to clickbait you guys on, you know? And as a YouTuber, I need to clickbait y'all. I need to. It's part of my job, whether you like it or not, my friends. What if Venom 3, we set up an invasion of symbiotes and have an infinity war for the Sonyverse? Tying the movies in. Also, Dove Cameron for Black. Ooh, Dove Cameron would be nice as Black. I would not protest that. I would be all up for that. Now, that's something. I wonder if they're going to do some sort of multiverse stuff in the new Venom movie. Because, like, Sony must see multiverse right now is just like a hack for, like, infinite money, right? The Sony Spider-Man stuff did multiverse thing, whether it's in the Into the Spider-Verse and No Way Home, and they're like, dude, that's raking in a lot of money. Screw it. Let freaking Venom explore the multiverse, meet up Topher Grace and other people. Just do it. At this point, who cares? I don't love these movies, so make something wild and interesting for me. But yeah, that's an idea. I think it's a little too much for one more movie, because I'm telling you, after this, they're done with Venom and they're going to end up doing something else, which is probably the rumored animated movie they're working on. Are you aware there's a Sonic Speed? Yes, I would definitely want to review in character, and I hope to get Javonsi collab for the Sonic 3. I did see that. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. Houston, where I'm not located. I'm in Dallas, but there's a Sonic cafe in Texas that I was like, that does look pretty cool, but like I think Houston's like a 4-hour drive for me, and I was just like, and then you're like, that's a 4-hour drive is difficult. Bro went to Mexico to eat some black buns, but it did look cool. It looked nice. I just feel like I'd be like a little disappointed if I ended up going. Maybe for the Sonic 3 movie, I'll do it, right? I'll go there and check it out. But they got hot dogs there. It looks interesting. Some nice, cool stuff. I think also in Houston, they had like a Dragon Ball Cafe, and I was like, dude, I want to go to that. Dragon Ball Cafe in Texas. Where's the picture? I think I saw a TikTok of it, or is it not here anymore? I think it's not here anymore. Okay, but yeah, I saw that, my friends. We'll see. And yeah, we'll see if I can get a collab with that creator. I know someone tagged me on Twitter. I don't know if it was you, but yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. Okay, if you were allowed to direct one of your favorite movies, which would it be? Okay, I've thought long and hard of a Back to the Future one. A Back to the Future movie, which I know people don't want, but I feel like I have an angle to where I could do it to honor the legacy and do something new there. Maybe one day I'll share. But Back to the Future, just because I love those movies and I've always thought about it. And Nightmare on Elm Street. I would love to do a Nightmare on Elm Street. Do something really fun and creative there. I was even thinking about that just the other day. I was having a long drive. I was driving for 40 minutes. The whole time I was just thinking about how a Nightmare on Elm Street movie would go in my head. So that'd be the two. Nightmare on Elm Street and Back to the Future I would love to do. But I also have some original ideas I'd like one day. You know, Chris Stuckman's moving up. We got so many YouTubers now making movies. One day it'll be my turn, and hopefully I don't embarrass myself. All right. Did you see any of the Tron set leaks? Yeah, we've talked about them here before on the channel. I won't get too much into them because now they're really running into spoiler stuff. But I will say the movie looks intriguing. I was not that excited for Tron 3, especially with Jared Leto as the main character. But for the stuff I've been seeing, I was like, it seems interesting. I'd want to see it. Downside of quitting job and doing YouTube. I don't know if there is much of a downside. Like I've seen so many creators sometimes that complain about like you don't know how hard YouTube is or how difficult this is and how much it weighs on your mental health, which is absolutely true. There's definitely times where I like get it over my head, so much mental health, a lot of comparing myself to other creators and wanting to be better than them even though I really respect them and wanting to outdo them or be better in my content. So like the downside is definitely the mental toll. Because if you go to work, I guess depending on your job, all the jobs I used to work, which were being a tutor teacher for an after school program, call center, and like retail. Those jobs sometimes can be mentally draining, but for the most part, you're kind of like on autopilot. You're just responding, being nice to people, talking, doing your thing. Not that mentally draining. You don't think about it much. And plus, when you clock out, you get to turn it off. With YouTube, it never turns off. As soon as I'm done with this live stream, I'm still thinking about YouTube. I'm still thinking about the clips I need to make, TikToks I need to do, what videos I got this weekend, planning out videos for the week and stuff like that. Like, it's definitely draining on the head to like have all this stuff planned out. And since I'm just by myself and all that, it's kind of hard to do. But I also understand I'm in a grateful, very happy position, and I would rather have this mental stress than waking up 7 a.m. to go have someone boss me around, tell me what to do. I cannot stress how much I hated a regular job. I was miserable. And it's one of the things that pushed me to do YouTube because it's like, hey, if you fail at this, you're still where you started. But if you make it, buddy, you make it. And a lot has changed for me in the past 5 years, man. So I would honestly just say it's really the mental toll it takes on you, the way you see so many negative comments sometimes. Like even, ever since I started YouTube, I've gained weight because all I do is sit at this desk and make videos instead of my other jobs where I was on my feet doing other stuff. And also I have all the money to DoorDash as much as I want, which I shouldn't. And, I perceive all that kind of stuff. But, that's really it. It's just the mental toll. And if you are strong enough to handle that and be okay with it, you'll survive. Some days where I have my breakdowns and I'm sad. But other than that, I still way much prefer this life than the life I had before. And I'm so thankful to you guys. So thankful. So thank you. Don't leave me. Don't cancel me, please. I'll do anything. So, yeah, guys. That's really about it. Okay. We had David here just sends in a super chatter for us. Thank you so much, David. I appreciate that. The Fast and Furious of the Planet of the Apes. I know we definitely don't want it to get that far where it's ridiculous. And I know if we start including time travel or sci-fi things, it might go that far. But I would like to see an attempt. I would like to see an attempt at that kind of stuff. Okay, I think Venom 3 can be good. However, they need to make sure this movie makes money. They are not allowed to destroy characters that actually matter. Even if they do, it doesn't matter at this point, right? Like, I was so pissed they killed off Carnage in the second movie. I'm like, no. That's the one symbiote I would have been okay with if you just bring him back for like a million movies. I love Carnage. Keep him in there. At this point, you could do whatever with this third movie. Just make it entertaining. I know it might not be good, but if I'm entertained, I'll give you a good review, Venom 3. I promise I will. So, we'll see. It's also definitely going to be PG-13. I know Craven's rated R. It would be nice if Venom is rated R just to finally do some of the crazy things we've been wanting. But Venom makes so much money. Sony is not going to want to lose out on some of that PG-13 money. So, yeah. Hey, Chris, have you heard the new Element? Oh, it's out? Is it already out? I've been anticipating it. Is it all? When did that come out? I didn't know it came out already. Let me see. No, I have not listened to it, my friend, but I am a big Eminem fan. Like straight up, so much listening to him as a kid and whatnot. And no hate to Eminem, and I know it's like such a cliche thing to say as a fan. It's like I like his old stuff, but I do. As much like his last album, I really loved was Recovery. That's after Beautiful, right? Was it Relapse? Recovery was the last album I really loved from Eminem. So many songs in there that were just hitting, were great, it's still consistently good. His last couple albums, they're fine. There's some good songs in there, but none of them are everlasting, if that makes sense. They're so specific to that time. They're so specific and referential to things going on of when they were released. The songs get so outdated so quick, and they're not that enjoyable for repeat listens. I love going back to like his Marshall Matters. Oh no, Marshall Matters LP2. That's the last album I liked of his. Marshall Matters LP2 when he came out with that one. But yeah, so yeah, you're right. Marshall Matters LP2. Yeah, I forgot about that one, guys. I thought Recovery was the last one. Marshall Matters LP2 was good, but like, what was it? Kamikaze? What was that name of that album? And the one with the like the flag where he did a song with Ed Sheeran. Those two albums I just was not that into. There's some good songs in there. Some good songs in there, but it was just not that crazy. I'm excited for the Death of Slim Shady. I'm curious how he goes there, but I have not listened to it yet. Thank you for letting me know. Hey, are you moving to? Why are you moving to a new house? Well, I've said it on the channel before. A couple of reasons. One, I'm moving to an area where I want to start a family. I was thinking about schools in the area and just like what's a good area to raise a familia in. I want to one day have a little 3C. So that's definitely one thing. Two, I just wanted a little bit of a bigger space. I'm making decent enough money on here thanks to you guys where it's like, be nice to have a little upgrade. So it was mainly that. Mainly for family purposes, just to set up a nice establishing future. But that's about it. I've talked about it long and before. I got the house I was in during COVID, and that was a really hard time because everybody was buying houses there, and so I ended up having to settle at a house I wasn't that happy with, but I just desperately wanted because I was tired of living in an apartment. But if the house I want to spend my life with, I want to be very happy in, so that's mainly why. Sorry if that was too personal, guys. What if the humans conquer the apes someday? See, that's the thing with this franchise that I think is annoying some people, is because we know these are prequels to the Charlton Heston movie, where that movie is apes rule. Apes are just in charge. They're sophisticated, they're intelligent, they have rule, they have order, and humans are nothing, right? So it's like, what's the point of setting up this ape war with humans if we know the apes win? The humans are not going to stand a chance unless you're going to change the history of the movies and not lead to the Charlton Heston movie, which could be something. But no, I don't want the humans to win. I want the apes to win, man. Screw the humans. Let them apes win, man. What would be your dream Disney Plus show for Marvel? My dream Disney Plus. I saw people talking about it. I don't know how real it is. But you remember, this has been a rumor ever since Endgame. When Captain America returns the stones at the end of Endgame, he goes on his mission to return the stones and he comes back as an old man. That would be my dream Disney Plus show, is what happens to Captain America from when he starts returning the stones to when he's an old man on that bench passing the torch to Sam Wilson. That would be my dream Disney Plus show. But knowing Disney, they would find a way to ruin it. That's what I would definitely would want. If not, and again, I don't even know if it'd be Disney Plus. I'd love a Spider-Man TV show. I think the more especially when I was rewatching The Amazing Spider-Man in theaters, a Spider-Man TV show in live action form, kind of like Spectacular Spider-Man, with really dealing with high school problems and being Spider-Man. I would just kind of love that, but it would never happen. Spider-Man makes too much money on the movie side of things. But yeah. Let's see here. Do you drink coffee, energy drinks, alcohol, or smoke? I don't drink alcohol, and it's not because I'm above that. I'm better. Your boy, unfortunately, has a couple of problems with it. Anytime I drink alcohol, I get sleepy, so I'm not a party rager. My face also turns like super red when I drink alcohol, and I hate that. And when I lay down, I get acid reflux from the alcohol, so it burns my throat. So... Yo, Wimpy Boy does not drink because of those three reasons. Smoke, I have no interest in that. I think if you do it, that's fine, but I have no interest in that. Drink coffee sometimes, but coffee also does the acid reflux thing because of the acidity of the beans. So I rarely drink coffee unless it's like Dutch Bros. And even then, sometimes it just hurts my throat, so it's not fun for me. Energy drinks are the death of me. I need to stop. I am still on this energy drink addiction and I need to quit it. I got it when I was working at a call center because it was just the thing, my little treat of the day. But recently it's gotten to the point when I do have an energy drink, my chest starts to hurt. Like my heart feels bruised. And I've seen TikToks, I've seen people who like talk about like I ended up in the hospital, I needed a heart monitor or something like that. And I'm like, dude, I need to stop. But I'm so undisciplined. I need to stop. So energy drinks out of those are my biggest addiction. Luckily, I only have one a day. I don't do 2 or 3 or something crazy like that. But I need to stop because I'm seeing the early signs of like something affecting me, man. Yeah. Did you hear the Northern Lights and what's going on? I saw a TikTok or something about that. We're getting like a Northern Light storm. I wish I could tell you more details. No, I don't know too much about it. If we all die, man, hey, I'll see you up there. I'll bring you 3C News in heaven, okay? I'll bring it up there, be like, George Washington's throwing a party today, and Abraham Lincoln crashed it. Let's talk about it. That would be us in heaven. I'll bring you the 3C News in heaven, guys. All right. I really wish Sam Raimi got to make his own personal Doctor Strange movie. The forced MCU connections and Multiverse of Madness tied up too much. Exactly. That's what's really hurting a lot of Marvel movies or projects. They're too tied into being a setup or a tie-in for another thing. When it used to be 90% of the movie was just a good movie and then 10% was a setup for something else. That has shifted. It's now 50% movie, 50% setup, and it's really hurting the rewatchability and just enjoyment of an overall Marvel movie. So I hope the Fantastic Four really balances that. What's your thoughts on the recent X-Men 97 episode? So yeah, I'm trying to save it for when I give my full thoughts for when the whole show is over, and I'll make a little clips video on it. But dude, I've been just consistently amazed with that show. As someone who had very little hype and was honestly planning not to even watch it until the first two episodes were amazing and I just kept going. I'm very impressed with the show. I would love the live action version to be like that. Have you seen the Fear Street movies? Yes, I love the Fear Street movies, dude. Those were awesome. They were great. Such fun slashers, and I'm excited for the new Fear Street movie. Was it called Prom Queen? Where it's about a killer who's killing the prom candidates one by one. Could be fun. It's also set in the 80s. Yes, I'm excited for that. All right. I still think 3C looks like Wade Whipple. I don't see it. Chris, do you think we will see more Scream 7 news? I'm waiting for we've gotten a bunch of like little Scream 7 news since I last majorly talked about it on the channel. And I've just kind of been saving up all the little bits of news till we finally get like a major update. And then that's when I'm going to do like a whole like update video on it. But dude, they have to, because they're filming this movie this summer. So we're going to get big casting announcements within the next couple of weeks. We're going to get some more story details and whatnot. We've already gotten some. We know Sydney's the main character. There's talks about her kids being involved, and there's even like a babysitter and all that stuff. So there's enough in there where I think I'll eventually make a bigger video recapping all that kind of stuff. But I'm just waiting for one big piece of news, whether it's more casting announcements or like an official title, because I don't think this thing is going to be called Scream 7. It might be something else. We'll see. New space movie announced from Sony. Oh, geez Louise. What's this new space movie, my friend? I don't see it right now, Christian. I unfortunately don't see it. But I'll look into it, my friend. Hey, Sony sometimes making good, sometimes making bad. We'll see. Do you think the Last Ronin movie will be good? Yes. I have so much faith in that R-rated Last Ronin movie. It's going to blow our minds, and I'm excited for it, man. I still got to message the writer, but I'm scared. I don't want to bother him or get rejected or left on red. Chris, have you heard of the Disney Descendant movies? If not, please search this up. I think I've heard of them. They're just not my thing. I've seen, little tidbits of it, like it's the descendants of famous characters, right? It's like the daughter of Maleficent or the grandkid of Pinocchio or whatnot. Interesting idea, but it's just not my thing. I'm glad if you're into it though. How do you feel about... Oh, dude, Ted gets a season 2. So happy. Ted was one of the, biggest surprises, because I remember when Ted got announced to be getting a TV show, I was like, that's kind of stupid. Why would anyone watch a Ted TV show? Every episode was freaking hilarious. So funny. I love the theme song in the Ted show. I love the humor of it. Yes, baby. I'm so happy season 2's coming. I can't wait to see it. Am I the only one that noticed Noah saying he... notice a dark tunnel that consumes light in the telescope? Maybe a black hole? Ooh, I did see that line. I just assumed a dark tunnel that eating. I just assumed that's his description of what the telescope is. Like, he sees the telescope as it consuming light. Because the hole is like a dark tunnel, right? That's the telescope, and it's consuming light and showing it to him. I just assumed that's his interpretation of how a telescope works. But Maybe he was talking about a black hole, and that's how they'll probably explain the time travel of the astronauts if we ever get to that point in the series, because right now we haven't. All right. Thoughts? Oh, why isn't it? Okay. That's kind of lame. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Thoughts on Ruffin as Galactus? Yeah, I talked about it at the beginning of the stream. It's like the first topic I brought up. You can go back and see it there, but I like it. Dude's got a nice Graisley voice. I also like that Galactus is going to be part of the movie. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good. All right. Favorite Godzilla villain? Let's see here. I really like Mechagodzilla. I just like the Mechagodzilla as a villain. If not that, I don't know if you is Gigan really count? I feel like sometimes, some does. Not Gigan, definitely in there. I have soft spot for Biolante. I think it's such an interesting one. I just don't know how well Biolante would work live action, but Mechagodzilla. I love that mechanical fool. All right, Spider-Man or Batman, dude. Spider-Man. I love Batman. I'm always gonna go crazy over Batman stuff, but Spider-Man, dude. Spider-Man is my boy day in, day out. I'm worried that Deadpool 3 will get the Quantum Mania treatment. I don't think it will. I think Deadpool 3 is going to be good. I just don't know if it'll be amazing. I know people are expecting amazing. I think it's just going to be good. I've been watching you since I think towards the end of high school. I'm 24 now. My girlfriend can't stand movie talk. Do I leave her? Nah, man. Do what you want. You know what? I'll tell you something petty about me, which is the truth. Back before I found my lady, and I would go on dates, right? And I would be with different ladies because, I was kind of a Rizzler. You don't know this, but 3C was the Rizzler. I had that charm and that wit. You see my cringy intros? I had cringy introductions into me, and then I like, what's up, ladies? What's up? But I was so picky about their taste in movies and how they like movies, whether they'd watch them with me, whether they cared for them. At some point, you just got to figure out it's going to be hard to find someone that loves movies as much as you do if you're that crazy about them. If you can find it, that's great. But I don't think it should be your deal breaker. Because with my lady, nothing but red flags. But she's changed so much since we've been together. Because when we started dating, she'd be the kind to fall asleep during movies a lot. Like, I'm talking, I think one of our first movies we saw together was Passengers, with a Chris Pratt movie with Jennifer Lawrence. And I think she fell asleep during it. And I remember being in the theater on that date looking, like being into the movie, like, whoa. And then like they had like 20 minutes left. I look over and and then I thought to myself, it's not going to work. She can't even watch a movie. How could I have a life with her? She can't. And, like I got over it eventually. And she also would say, I don't watch horror movies. I don't like horror movies. I never want to see them. In fact, I took her to see Annabelle Creation. And she ended up crying because she was so scared. I felt like such a dick. But if you love someone, you change for them or you open up. And I've done that both ways. When I didn't want dogs in my life. Okay, I had a bad roommate in college that had a dog, a white dog, and it would poop in front of my room every morning. Pissed me off, and it was a white dog, and so it gave off a lot of hair, and I wear a lot of black clothes, so my clothes was constantly covered in dog hair. I hated that dog so much. When I got with her and she had her own dog, I was like, we can live together. No puppies allowed, baby. Sorry. Leave that thing at the pound. I'll make a turtle soup out of it if I have to. Fast forward, I have 4 dogs. I have 4 dogs in my house. And also, she loves watching horror movies with me now. She loves the Friday the 13th series. She loves Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream, and all that. So you eventually find that, and you can grow together as a person. But yeah, I remember when I was early on dating, I was just like, you don't like horror movies? You fall asleep during movies? We could never be together. I just can't do this. And you get over that. You stop being so dang like high bar craziness and stuff like that. But yeah. That's the kind of stuff. All right. So here we go. Thoughts on Despicable Me 4 trailer. It's interesting that they gave the minions powers. That's something fun. One of the minions looks like the Thing. That's cool. I'm slightly more interested in watching it. I'm not crazy about the Despicable Me franchise. I do like the first movie, but I'm just not crazy about them. I will say, though, I didn't understand the appeal of minions until this weekend. because, and no offense, there's someone who follows my channel, Brian Lynch, who is actually the writer of Minions and Secret Life of Pets. Very happy that he watches my channel. Someone that talented working in Hollywood actually watches my dumb videos. That's cool. And I felt bad because I'm always saying like I don't like the Minions, or like I do like Secret Life of Pets. But this weekend I was at a family party and they put on the first Minions movie, which I thought I didn't like when I first saw it. Dude, there was 3 toddlers at this party, and the way toddlers watch a Minion movie is like crack. It is crazy. These kids were running around, screaming, crying. Da, da, da. The minute you put on a Minions movie and they started going, banana, dude, they're locked in. I was blown away. I could not believe it. I was there like, dude, these kids are a little crazy. I don't know if I want to have kids someday. Minute that Minions movie came out, I was like, oh my goodness, they crack the code. So I just think that's so funny. It was like they became the chum bucket people from SpongeBob. All hail Plankton. And it makes you think how genius the Minions are, because you just think they're stupid, dumb, yellow things that talk nonsense. They actually are the perfect thing for toddlers because they don't speak English. They don't talk. They just say gibberish, right? A little bit of Spanish thrown in there. But so do toddlers. So to them, that's their language. Dude, that's their language. And they're like, yes, I understand you, Minion. Yes, Kevin. Beat that banana. Hit Bob. Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. It gave me a new respect for Minions movies, seeing the way toddlers watch the film and are completely into it. I'm like, whoa, there's some science going on there. There's something there. We got to study that. Let's see here. All right. So, what do we got? I think I skipped one. Okay. Do you think Chucky should get rebooted? Because there is a part of me that's just burnt out with the series. The amount of lore just not being scary. Who should direct the new Chucky movies? I feel the same way, my friends. I feel so bad saying it because I like Don Mancini. He's the creator of Chucky, right? He's brought it up and he's done so many accomplishments. Not many horror icons can say they have the same lore from movies and TV shows, even after a reboot came out, the 2019 movie, and it's still consistent in terms of like the same characters, same voice actor, Brad Dourif, all that. Like that's an achievement. It cannot be ignored. At the same time, I just miss old Chucky. I miss scary Chucky. I miss maniacal Chucky. Chucky that if he showed up in my room right now, I'd go, ah! Not right now, where I'd be like, a doctor touched your balls this season, dude. What the hell? That kind of stuff. So that's I would prefer someone who could bring back more of a menacing tone to Chucky and make him feel like he did in the first 3 movies. Even the 4th movie, Bride, there's so much passion and flair. Kind of the same problems I was having with Spider-Man lately is the way Chucky is directed now. He looks like a commercial or like a sitcom. And I'm like, I don't want Chucky funny. I want him serious. But I don't know who should direct it. I'm up to anybody just willing to make Chucky serious and scary again. And I also wouldn't mind if they just go back to square one and start over with the lore. But we'll see. We'll see, my friends. All right. Are you going to still give us the childhood universes a chance? Oh, yeah, of course. I'm excited to see what the Pinocchio movie is going to look like, the Peter Pan movie they're currently filming, the Bambi movie. I'll watch them and give them a chance. They could turn out being bad after bad after bad. Chance is lost. But I'm giving you 3 movies. Bambi, Pinocchio, and Peter Pan. Want to see how those go. And the Pooniverse. Gotta watch that Poon. Love me to Poon. So yeah. Any news on the Ghost of Tsushima movie? No, unfortunately not. I still want to check out that video game. I have not played it. It's on my to-do list along with like God of War and all these other things. I have so much stuff I want to do. And I'm like on episode 4 of Fallout now. I finally had time to watch it. Love Fallout, by the way. It's a really good show. I don't know why Amazon was ever downing that show and just released it all at once. But it's like, now I want to play Fallout. But no update. I'm excited for that, though. Should be good. Venom 3 trains a younger 16, 20-ish year old as Spider-Man, gets symbiote, taking on dog symbiote together. The end of the movie with them fighting, kid wins, best outcome. That's definitely a plot. That's definitely a plot right there, my friend. Chris, I finished watching the Knuckles series and I liked it, but was kinder disappointed. I wouldn't say it's the worst Sonic media. Yeah, it's not the worst Sonic media. Those people are exaggerating. I still enjoyed it for all its flaws. I just wish it was more about Knuckles and it more expanded Knuckles' backstory and actually brought in more Sonic lore. Wade Whipple is fun, but I was not expecting the whole show to be about Whipple. FNAF Studio just instant some support. Thank you so much. Chris, I've always wondered how you decide which. Oh, yeah, we've talked about this. Thank you so much, buddy. Are you. Yeah, what the heck? There's some repeating super chats here. Did I miss something? My bad. Let me just make sure. I'm still going to give it a chance. Okay. Put Koba in what movie? Okay. I've been seeing this trend online. There's an account where they put Paddington in different movies. And now for some reason, they're putting Koba, the villain from Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, into a bunch of different movies. Put Koba in. Let me think. What would be a funny movie for Koba to be in? Put Koba in Nacho Libre. I want Koba in Nacho Libre, buddy. You better tag me once you do it. Okay. Who would you want to voice Silver the Hedgehog in future Sonic movies? Two of my choices would be Dylan O'Brien, Steven Yeun. Steven Yeun? Well, no, that's kind of a young voice. I want more of a serious voice for Silver. I'm not too sure. Dylan O'Brien would be fine, though. Dylan O'Brien, you know what? I'm going to say Dylan O'Brien with you, my friend. I'm going to say Dylan O'Brien with you. Being a certified Rotten Tomato critic, what was by far the most impactful film you critiqued, and what do you look forward to watching? Thanks. Honestly, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. Because, like I said, I hated that first movie so freaking much. So the fact that the second movie was not just watchable, but it actually was a little entertaining, a little bit fun to watch, I was like, well, this is an improvement. This is good. I was only one of 6 reviews. So, like, I am to blame for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey having 100% on Rotten Tomatoes when it got premiered. Because I was just one of those people. If I gave it a negative review, that 100% would have gone to like a 60, since there was only like 6 people reviewing it. So that was probably the most impactful time. But I think when I re-review the Chucky movies, I'll probably be pretty impactful there. Because a lot of the Chucky movies only have like 7 or 5 reviews on them. And so that'll help it bump it up on some of them or bump it down. See to Chucky, I'm talking to you, buddy. Thoughts on Tom Holland's Devil All the Time? I like that movie. That's the one with Robert Pattinson, right? I like that movie. I thought there were some great performances in there. Tom Holland has been struggling to find good roles outside of Spider-Man. I know he's tried Cherry. He did that one TV show on Apple TV that I didn't watch. I just didn't look interesting to me. Devil All the Time, I think, is the closest thing in actually elevating Tom Holland's career. But the dude needs to find his own, Dune or Wonka thing outside of Spider-Man, because Uncharted wasn't that, unfortunately, for him, even though we might get a sequel. I just think Tom Holland's a gifted actor, but he hasn't found a good movie or show to showcase that in just yet, at least with widespread praise. Rukus sends in support. Thanks so much. Ted 2's getting a second season. Heck yeah, buddy. Get excited. I'm excited for that. I'm excited. Thanks for the support, Adrian. George, the only one, says, Chris, if you're going to watch Lord of the Rings, you should watch the Hobbit trilogy. It really holds up. Really? I remember when the Hobbit was coming out, I was seeing a lot of mixed opinions. So I didn't know if I should watch it or not. But if you say yeah, and I saw Cinemark is going to be re-showing the movies this June. The Lord of the Rings movies. I'm like, oh, perfect. I could see them in theaters. That'd be the best way. But it's the extended versions. And I'm like, is the extended versions the good first thing I should watch of these? Or should I watch the theatrical and then one day watch the extended? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I just saw someone say The Hobbit is mid. So yeah, people hate the Hobbit movies. Yes, yeah, I thought that's what most people didn't like, the Hobbit movies. But yeah. 3C Films, Brightburn 2 will not be happening. Yeah, James Gunn said it's just not going to happen. And it's not worth it right now, especially with him doing Superman. There's no point for him to produce an evil Superman sequel and do evil Superman universe. So yeah, we'll see. How do you feel about the new Twisters movie? I have to see the original Twisters first. I know. Guys, I feel like, are you even a movie guy, Chris? This year has been the year where a lot of movies I didn't grow up on, where Lord of the Rings, Twister, I didn't watch James Bond movies. There's something else coming out where I'm like, I haven't seen that. And I'm like, all those movies are just being talked about recently, and I feel like I'm just saying, I haven't seen that. I don't watch that. I don't like that. And I'm like, do you like what you do, Chris? Or are you a faker? I need to see the original Twister. It's just one I didn't watch as a kid, but I need to and I want to. I am excited, though, for the new one. I like Glenn Powell. There's a fire tornado in the recent trailer, and I was like, fire tornado. Let's put that in my pipe. Okay. Absolutely loved Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Just wish they didn't miss the opportunity for Noah to tell Proximus Caesar, you will never be Caesar. That would be one of my biggest complaints about that, is just I don't mind the way they handle the Caesar lore in terms of twisting it and Proximus Caesar using it against, but I wish they explored it a little bit more, because he never explains how he twists the rules of Caesar. He just is evil, but still worships Caesar. You know what I mean? So I wish they dove into that a little bit more. That's my only thing, but yeah, we'll see how they care, and we'll talk more Caesar in the next couple movies. I feel like this might be the only movie they bring up Caesar, but we'll see. Thoughts on The Boys, Invincible? Do you watch it? Heck yeah, I watch The Boys and Invincible, man. Love both those. I think they're great. I'm excited to see the continuation of season 4 and whatever they do next with Invincible. Yes, I love both those. 3C Films, a new Doctor Who series came out half an hour ago. Oh, good for you, buddy. I don't watch Doctor Who. There's another property where I say I don't watch. I'm sorry. Just no interest in it. But I see a lot of people talk about it and love it. A lot of people talk about it and love it. X-Men 97 is crack for us Marvel adults. Hey, I believe it. I see it, and I'm so happy to see people loving it. So that's awesome. I believe it. Imagine if Tom Holland directed Child's Play. Oh, Tom Holland was the director of the original Child's Play movie, the 1988 movie, I believe it is. Not Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Dude, that would be kind of cool. I wouldn't mind that, but I like Lars Kjellberg and what he did there. He was such a nice guy. He really talked to me and thanked me for, like, you know, being someone who was campaigning for the movie and being nice and all that. He offered to give me a prop for the movie and never delivered. You're on my list, Lars. I'm coming for you, buddy. But other than that, he was a really nice guy. But Tom Holland would have done something interesting. I'm sure he would have. I know it's not movie news, but you hear Xbox shutting down their studio, including the developers of High Rush. Dude, they just can't compete. They just can't compete. PlayStation is winning, and Nintendo has the market cornered on some of the more affordable stuff. And yeah, so I think it's just time Xbox lets it go. I'm sorry, but that's why I was a PlayStation guy all the time. All the time, baby. All right, my friends, that was the last Super Chat question. I am finally free. The shackles are broken. Thank you so much for watching today's live stream. On the Clips channel, I will have stuff posted on there. Oh, just one more popped up. Coming from huge Lord of the Rings fans, do not start with the extended. Okay, good to know, George. Thank you for that. I needed to know. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. But in that, guys, I love y'all's faces. I'll be talking to you. I'll see you, my friends. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.